Welcome to Your Life in Film. I'm your host, Ted Bennett. Joining me this week, Tim Auld. Tim is an award-winning filmmaker with over 15 years of experience across directing, screenwriting, and post-production. He has created work for leading brands including FujiFilm, Foundry, and Blackmagic Design, delivering compelling visual stories across commercial and creative projects. As a screenwriter, Tim's work has earned multiple international awards and attracted producer options, lucky bugger, reflecting his ability to craft distinctive cinematic narratives from concept to completion. One of Tim's films, Juicer, which I've linked below, is a great watch. Good and weird, some wonderful, creepy visuals. So do check it out. When we started the recording, I noticed Tim was sat in a gaming chair, and I was like, oh, a gaming chair, do you game? And we started talking about video games. So that's where the conversation starts, us talking video games.
They just haven't won me over, and especially when they bought Bethesda, I was like, okay, this will be the thing, you know. And I'm still waiting. I'm still like, what are you going to do, Bethesda? You've done nothing.
They do nothing all the time. There's something about Bethesda games I never get into them. Skyrim was just not a game that I fucking cared about. And then, what was the other one they did?
Fallout.
Fallout?
Yeah.
Fallout I have given so many tries. And I'm talking fucking New Vegas, 3, 4.
Yep.
The last time we played 4 was, I think it was just after the second series of the TV show had come out.
Yeah.
And I said to Kirsty, look, I'm going to give it a go again. It's £6 at the moment on Xbox. Let me try again.
Yeah.
And we were both playing it. She was watching me play it, and she was like, oh, maybe I will play this. Because she's a bigger gamer than me. She's a, bigger gamer than I'll ever be. And I was playing it, and she was playing it. And we were both sort of, just taking it turns, sort of oh, play your save, I'll play my save. How far are you? How far are you? But every time we talked about it, we were like, oh, fuck, I don't like this. And it's like, no, I don't like this either. And it's it's so fucking annoying. It's so And in the end, we were like, why the fuck are either of us playing this? Neither of us like this game. But we're just sort of turning up every day and being like, go on then. Now what do I need to do? And it was
hoping it'll win you over.
One day it might. Because I really enjoyed the show.
I think it would have by now if it was going to. You know, my Bethesda journey started with Morrowind, which was really hard to get into for the first few hours. And then there's a kind of hump that you get over. And then it becomes, for me anyway, it became really obsessive. And then played through all of that. And then when Oblivion came out, I was like, that's what I want. And that was amazing. And then, so I was kind of committed on that journey, but I never played Fallout either. So, and I always thought, why haven't I played that? But now I don't need to.
No, I don't think you do. I think the show does a lot more for that sort of moment of wonder. Oh, what is this? What is this doing for me?
Yeah.
I think the show does it for me better than the game ever does. And I'm sure for some people the game is, tip top. It wouldn't be making the numbers it's doing had it not been for that.
Yeah.
But So yeah. So what are you currently playing?
I've gone back to play Control again because it's been a few years.
Yeah.
And I loved it when I first played it.
Yeah.
And I sort of got the free upgrade to the PS5 version of it. So I was like, why haven't I played this again? So I loaded it up the other night and it's amazing.
Aren't they doing... Yeah. Isn't the same studio doing a new game soon?
The sequel.
Oh, it's a straight-up sequel. Oh, sick.
So, yeah, I've got that, and I haven't yet played Alan Wake 2, which the same studio made, but I want to.
Yeah, so I didn't realise they had done Alan Wake, because I said to Kirsty, do you want to play this Alan Wake game? And she was like, nope, too scary. And then she was playing Control, and I was like, oh, you seem to be loving this. And she was like, yeah, this I like. And I was like, I don't know why you're stipulating this you like, but sure.
Yeah, they did the original Max Payne as well, and they're really interesting studio, and they just make really different, interesting games. And Control, it's weird. I love it. It's like a David Lynch film, but it's also got this FBI side to it, and it's it just doesn't explain itself.
Nice.
You just Oh, did you play it?
I watched Kirsty play it. I didn't play it.
Yeah, and it's fucking fun. That's the
decent.
thing. Like,
yeah.
I'll play. I'm very I'm a real layman when it comes to games. Like, give me some guns and some red barrels, and I'm happy. As long as it's fun, I don't need a great story. But if you do a great story, that's just even better. And gaming can be something quite sublime when it gets it all right. But it's also because of the entertainment kind of angle of it, you don't need it necessarily.
No.
It's just when you don't have it, when you got a shit story, you kind of go, oh, they could have done more with this. But but I also don't necessarily need it.
Fair. No, I know what you mean. Like, whenever I'm sort of gaming, I'm not the kind of gaming person who's that adamant about like, oh, does it all neatly tie up? It's like, I just, like you, it's like, can I run around and shoot and climb? And are you going to let... I really like an open world for this reason. It's like, are you going to let me just crack on?
Yeah.
I'll do your little missions. I'll do your story, but I'm going to do my own thing. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So when a game gets too prescriptive about, like, you can go this way, and I'm like, nah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like,
I
here's
know
the
what you mean.
story, and this is what you're going to do. And it's like, you make a film. Make a film and show me, tell me. But don't...
Yeah.
The only other game that I've really sort of sunk a lot, I was going to say too much time, but I'm thinking about playing it again, is Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I did it once. I've yet to reload it up, but I will.
Did you play it before the patches? And did you play it before the DLC?
No, I played it before the DLC, but it had been patched a lot by the time I played it, so it ran perfectly well. I played it on PS5, so it was fine. I didn't have any trouble with it. No, I kind of waited. I was watching all of that happen, and I was like, I'll just wait. They'll fix all this.
It'll come about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved it. I loved it, but I'm probably still Team Witcher 3 when it comes to comparing that studio and their previous work, but I think Witcher 3 just has a better story, and it's just better in that sense. But Cyberpunk's so deep, and in terms of a game, like what you actually can do in it,
well,
so it's worthy of.
Like, I currently have a stack of all the RPG books for Cyberpunk. Like,
right, you went hard.
Well, Cyberpunk is like my complete jam. Like, anything that is in the cyberpunk world, films, books, like music, I love it. So when there was a video game of it, this is, to date, the only game worth your time if you're a cyberpunk fan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like if you like The Witcher, you can get most of that from Skyrim. It's that sort of sword and sorcery. It's Fable. It's Oblivion. It's it's all of those things. It's what's it called? Bard? What's it called? There was Kirsty played it.
Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's Gate, baby. Kirsty played it a dozen times. I feel like you can get that world very easily in other games, whereas with Cyberpunk you just don't. So, I think they nailed it. I think the DLC was like an excellent game that happened to be a DLC. And
it's on my list. I haven't played the DLC, but I know that my path will lead back to Cyberpunk at some point because it's just too big and too good, and I love the studio, and I love the ambition of it as well. Like, that's a big thing for me. A game doesn't need to fully succeed in what it tries for, as long as it tries for something. I get annoyed with safe a little bit, and it's Cyberpunk is worthy of your time. So, I mean, I remember there was one mission that just went so dark, and I was so glad that they went there with the material. I was like, kudos to you for fucking going there,
Well, I love that even the happy ending of the game isn't happy.
Well, I don't know. I only saw one ending. I didn't bother YouTubing all the other endings, but yeah, I think it was happy.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like you like every single one, you have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
To end, and what I like about the whole cyberpunk aesthetic is always that thing of like, we weren't expecting you to live, so what kind of like ending is existing. Don't worry about it. And it's like, ooh, that's miserable, and I love it. Like. It's Blade Runner 2049, Kay dying on the stairs before he even sees the mission through, really. And you're like, that's the point. Like, you might not make it, and that's that. And I'm a big fan of that.
I mean, it's such an interesting art form now, and it's just living in its golden age right now. Even though I think some people think the golden age was the early, like the Xbox 360, PS3 era, which was amazing. That was a golden era for like a lot of firsts. So like Mass Effect is like my jam. That's like, I've played through that many times. And that was like someone had basically made the perfect game for me. Yeah. And that generation had a lot of those firsts. Last of Us was in there, a lot of these firsts. But this generation is different. They're not doing many firsts, but they're redoing a lot of things in such an amazing way, and also just there's nothing they can't do anymore technology wise. Oh yeah, so
totally.
Yeah, we're I would say in that sense we're in the golden era of gaming.
No, I think I agree. I think the consoles were in their golden era back at the 360 and sort of like the PS2, PS3 era, because they just were like, there was just a wealth of games, like you're saying, firsts, or, just fucking like, what was it, Ratchet and Clank. Like, just great platformers that were fun. And obviously it was before all the fucking microtransactions and all that kind of shit, which I found out was perpetrated by Epstein. Not a joke. Honestly, like...
Another thing?
Another fucking thing. Some would say the worst thing, but, he, like... They... Like, back when a game, you got a whole game and everything on the disc is everything that you needed. So, if you want that cool skin or if you want that cool gun, complete the game. And complete it on a different difficulty and play it multiple times. And, just for that reason, I feel like games were better for a period of time. But
they've gotten easier over
like considering that, like, some of my favorite games, like Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games, Cyberpunk, one of my favorite games, and like the Spider-Man, like I'm going to say 1, 2 and Miles Morales, like all three of them I'm going to count as one of my favorite games. And it's sort of like, right, well, all of those are in the last 3 years. So like, would you like that? That's clearly like these are the best games,
I mean, it has changed. The expectation of the player has changed in the last 20 odd years or so, because if you go back and play the first Splinter Cell, the expectation on you as a player, it's fucking challenging. The first mission is enough to make people either quit or go, all right, I'm going to commit to getting better at this. And the same with like Ninja Gaiden. Same thing. Get your ass kicked.
I don't think I got past that first level of Splinter Cell. Like, I'm fairly certain. Like, every time I played it with a buddy, we'd get to the same point, and I'm like, you know what? Sneaking games aren't for me. This game's shit.
I mean, that game would give me a little anxiety before like, you'd finally conquer the mission. And then you'd be like, now we're in this new mission. And it's that opening frame of the new mission. I'd be like, oh boy, here we go.
Oh, shit. Oh.
But you do get better at shit. You get better at anticipating, and it makes you a better player. Today, games are super, super accommodating. It's like, press X now to win the fight. And then, like, come on.
Give me something. I want. Where's the middle ground between that and then like Sekiro or Bloodborne or like whatever the lost?
Yeah, because I don't have the patience for those fucking games either. I don't want to get my ass kicked for 100 hours.
No,
So I never played Elden Ring and all that because I'm like, I know it would be great, but I'm a dad and I don't have time, and I just want to. Give me like Uncharted is the best thing for a guy like me. It's like
Uncharted is
20
gold.
hours, 50, yeah, and it's just like, let me just have fun. And I can choose to get better at it if I want to, but I also can get through it fit if I want to.
Yeah.
That's a nice middle ground.
I replay those games probably every other year. Like, I'll do all 4 back to back and not notice that time has passed.
Yeah, I know, man. I go back to the first one rarely, but I started just a couple of months ago. I went back to 2.
Yeah.
And went 2, 3, 4, and then Lost Legacy. And the jump up to 4 is exceptional, but 2 and 3 still, they've aged beautifully. They're still incredible games. They still look amazing.
Yeah.
And you go, how is this from 2009?
And just so satisfying. Like, it is a big roast dinner on a cold day, those games. Because you're just you're done playing and you're just like, perfect. Yeah. That's all I needed. I did some running, some gunning.
Yep.
Everything I need. You got good story.
Yeah.
And then you just think like, why couldn't they make a film off of it? That baffles my mind.
Oh man, I've tried multiple times to watch that film and I can't get past about the 40-minute mark.
Like, I like Tom Holland. He was the wrong choice. Like,
yeah.
Because
so was Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark was the worst.
Not the right guy.
Bryan Cranston should have played.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
There it is. That's who it was.
Casting. Yeah.
And like, unfortunately, we all know who would have gotten like Nathan Drake now, and it would have been Crispy Rat. But like, it's just Chris Pratt seems to be in everything, and seems to have been the perfect role for him because it's the Nathan Fillion of 20 years ago.
He's just done too many of these types of roles, though. Yeah.
And I think it could have been so much better. I think if they had started earlier and they tried to make more of like a young, like Nathan Drake, you could have gone Tom Holland, but they went too quickly into like, oh, but this is also the modern day version as well, and it's like, no.
I think they also missed the trick with regards to the character, because what we love about Nathan Drake is the same thing we love about Indiana Jones, in that he's always way over in out of his depth. Yeah. And somehow through ingenuity and sometimes cheating, he gets what he needs. Like he passes through the obstacle, and that's the same charm that's in the games. Like he's never safe. He has little moments where he's like, that was dangerous. And then at that moment, that's when the tiles start breaking under him. Yeah. He's like, shit, and that's the shit we love. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And obviously Nolan North's performance is
it's
a huge part of that.
Like, it's such a good, like, solid performance for the whole thing. What I really liked him for was that they didn't go supernatural in any way. I kept expecting some sort of pirate to, like, zombie pirate to appear, or just some weird creature, and they didn't do it. And I was like, fair play.
Because they do go supernatural with the Tomb Raider series, which I also loved. It sort of goes over that, just steps over that line of, it is supernatural. Okay, this thing's it is a ghost or whatever it is, and undead samurai and things like that. I don't mind that, but it's a commitment you got to make, isn't it? It's like it's either this or it's this. Yeah.
So is your wife? Is it your wife?
Yeah.
Is it your wife? Is she a gamer at all?
Not since GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64.
Why go any further when you've achieved greatness?
I think she was like, this can't get any better, so I'm going to quit now.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, just for fun, I downloaded like the Sonic pack or whatever you can get, Mega Drive pack on the PlayStation. And if you want a reality check about how hard games used to really be,
don't
play a game from the 80s or the 90s. And you're like,
fucking hell.
It's brutal.
So hard.
And so we tried playing it, and because she was like, oh, yeah, Sonic, I remember this. And she tried to play it, and she was like, dead.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even know there was a third level, because I never fucking saw it.
I know, man.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
Shift in lava got me every fucking time. Like, I built a full working double player arcade cabinet a few years ago. Like when I first moved
in.
Oh, mate, I'll send you some photos. It was dope.
Yeah.
It had a fucking banner with lights and all the sounds and all that kind of stuff. And I could play everything from like Atari, whatever, all the way up to about PS1, PS2.
Cool.
So, I had every game through legal means, obviously.
Of course.
But the only two games I played were Road Rash, because I love it, and Sonic 1. And Sonic 1, there was a button you could press rewind because it was on the Pi. So if you died, you could just rewind and be like, right, okay, I'll try that jump again, instead of losing a life and having starting over from the beginning.
Yep.
And only because of that did I get to the mission where you're hanging on the side of an aeroplane.
Oh, yeah.
Right at the
end.
That.
Yeah.
And I had never been anywhere near that far. I remember a friend once figured out like a cheat code that you could do and then you could pick your levels, like when we originally had a Mega Drive. Yeah. And I saw them do that once, and there was that like pyramid. Is it the pyramid? Like you're inside a pyramid and you're like sliding down the waterfalls in the pyramid or something.
Yeah,
that's the only other mission I remember. And if it wasn't for that cheat code, there's no chance I would have ever seen past like the casino level. You know? Yeah.
So I mean, I've been a gamer since the Atari 500 or whatever it was called back in mid 80s, and then so I remember the Super Nintendo coming out. I remember it being a news story, and it's like, and there's a new console called the Super Nintendo, which will be available at Christmas. And I was like, well, and I remember just seeing like stills from F-Zero and thinking games that were, and I literally remember thinking, well, that's it. Graphics just can't get any better than that. A game could never look better. Yeah, no, it's amazing what you don't know. It's like that Plato's Cave scenario where you only know what's in front of you, and you just without enough information, you can't actually imagine anything being better. And obviously I was 7 or 8 years old, but I just remember being blown away by the graphics on the Super Nintendo, because I had a Nintendo original, and I'd been playing Commodore 64 games and fucking Atari games, and they looked good to me as a 6-7 year old. And then this thing comes out. Oh my god, it was what 16-bit? I don't know what that means, but it sounds great. And
it's twice as many bits as I'm used to. Yeah,
it was. But back in those days, you get the magazine, like the PC Mag or whatever, the Nintendo magazine, and in that it would have those cheat codes. It would be like up, down, left, right, X, Y, and you'd have to memorize this fucking thing, 24 input codes that you do at the screen that first comes up, but you've only got 3 seconds to do it, otherwise it doesn't work. And
fuck. Yeah, it's the worst. Though I'm pretty sure if you were to hand me a PS3 controller, I could probably put in the like infinite ammo glitch like on every GTA game. If you give that to me, I can't. If you were to ask me what it is right now, no idea. I can't say it. I can't verbally express it. But if you give it to me, the muscle memory in my fingers will be like, "There's all the game. There's everything you ever needed." Why don't you just tell me what it is? I don't know what it is.
I think what's funny is it's only now with the tech that we have now in gaming that I can now see we're kind of plateaued a little bit. Games just look fantastic.
Yes.
But it doesn't have the same leap that it used to, because the experience I had from Nintendo to Super Nintendo, it was the same for the preceding like generations that came. So I very distinctly remember the first PlayStation or the Nintendo 64 and seeing like Mario in 3D. And again, having that same reaction of, well, that's it. It doesn't get any better. I couldn't. How could it? And even just seeing that game world, it seems to be never ending. I was like, there is no end to this game world. Like, where's the walls? There isn't any. This game, it goes forever. That's what it seemed. And then the next generation came out, which was PS2 and Xbox. And I had the exact same thing. I was like, that's it. We've peaked. And then again, 360. We're now in HD. and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so I think it was probably the generation that followed that, where I was like, okay, it looks better, but it doesn't look like a generation better. And then obviously PS4 to PS5 generation, I mean, there's almost no difference. You play Uncharted 4 now, it looks better than games that come out today.
You can tell me ray tracing is a thing.
I don't care.
And I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
like, look at the reflection. I'm like, the reflection that I fucking gun past and never look down. Sick.
Exactly. My foot steps in the puddle and it becomes a rippling. It doesn't matter what you put in the puddle.
Care? I don't care, man. No, I know what you mean. I mean, even like with films, I'm fairly certain, like DVD to video, I was like, oh my God, this is what these films are meant to look like. Now if I watch a DVD, I'm like, have they made them shitter? Because they didn't look like this. They looked so much better. And then I watched Blu-ray, and then it was like, when Blu-rays came out, I was like, there's no need to ever upgrade these films. These films are perfect in Blu-ray.
I know.
And now there's 4K, and I'm like, oh, okay, actually, no, I can tell the difference between them. But again, I'm saying the same thing, like, I'm not going to rebuy all of my films when the next generation of whatever physical media comes out, because it can't get any better than 4K. And because,
well, I think we're done with physical media, unfortunately.
Yeah, as Sony just announced that they won't be producing any physical games.
That's kind of it, isn't it?
Which is miserable. It's miserable.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I love having a library, like you clearly demonstrate behind you, and there's something nice about just having real books and real CDs. I'm still a CD guy.
Good.
I mean, I don't tend to buy them, but I've still got them all, and I still treasure them. And same with Blu-rays and 4K Blu-rays and stuff. But yeah, I don't think we need to go any higher res. People get obsessive about pixels.
Your eye can't process, I think, any higher than 5 or 6, can it? I think there's a thing of, like, your eye physically, like 8K is pointless because even the human eye can't process 8K any further. Like,
it depends on how big the screen you're looking at it is and how close you are. But yeah, I think you're right. In practice anyway, you're definitely right. Like my TV behind me, you sit in my couch, you're about 2 meters from that TV. And that's by design, because I knew I don't need to buy the 65 inch. The 55 fits within that visual field perfectly fine. And it's 4K and it's HDR. It doesn't need to get better than that for the viewing situation that I'm in. I'm not projecting it on a 200-foot screen.
In brilliant daylight. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? That's always the same, because we've got a similar thing downstairs. Ours is the 65, but we're about 3 meters away. So to us, it's like, when I look, I see everything I need to see. I'm not craning my fucking head to get to the corners, is what some people do.
Yeah.
And it's like, my father-in-law was sort of saying, like, oh, would you ever upgrade to like an OLED or QLED or whatever the inkiest of blacks you can have? And I was like, well, I would. If I had all the money in the world, I would have a fucking full 4K cinema in my house. Like, but in my setup, I don't need it. The TV does everything I need. I don't wear my fucking glasses half the time, so I'm not even getting the benefits of 4K. Like, so...
Well, let me ask you this. When you go to the cinema, does it look good enough for you?
Yeah.
And you're not even watching it in HDR.
No.
So, all this stuff about HDR is fine for televisions. And it is great, but we don't need it in the cinema. We don't have it in the cinema.
Also, those projectors are old as fuck. Like, I worked at a cinema in 2008, and there was a Christie digital projector, and it was beautiful. It was a fucking top of the line, beautiful projector. If they've replaced that in that cinema, I'd be surprised. But you can't tell. Like, it's a huge screen, and it's huge. I will actually say, there are certain things that I do notice at the cinema. I went to go see Disclosure Day, Spielberg's most recent terrible film, and the text was pixelated. And
which you mean the graphics that they had at the beginning over titles or something like that?
Yeah.
Or
the opening credits, right? Yeah, and the closing credits.
Yeah.
The the lines were all pixelated and not intentionally.
Yeah.
It was like clearly like an
Yeah.
artifact of just like this doesn't
Yeah.
this is wrong. And you just think like, well, if no one's caring, if people are just throwing it out there, what's the fucking point? But yes, it's
I mean, like I talked about this with some of the actors that I was working with on this short recently, and about how we've gone a little too far with fidelity of image. Like it's good to have the option in the acquisition side, like with the camera, right? Camera on set, obviously, you get more pixels than you need. You get more bit depth than you're going to need. You get to see the fleck of dust that's embedded in the skin pore on the actor's face.
Cool.
Great, that's in focus. Cool. But what you then do in post is then start trying to remove all of that and actually introduce noise into the image, because that's what we actually need. And that's why if people, they talk about the wrong things when they talk about image quality. I think what they need, like, fuck resolution. What you need to talk about is actually like the quality of the compression, the video. That's why when you pull out a DVD or a Blu-ray, you go, oh no, there's banding in the background there around the moonlight.
Yeah.
And when you switch to the 4K version, because it's H.265 and it's 10-bit, the banding's not there. So, or at least it's really minimal.
Sure.
So there you are getting a better image quality. But you pull out Netflix, this TV has Netflix built into it, and it's got that Netflix calibrated mode. So what I'm getting is, exactly what it's supposed to look like in Dolby Vision and everything. And it looks great, but at the same time, when it's a film particularly, and you're being asked to invest in some kind of fiction, you've got too much information in the image, too much detail, and so your brain starts to see, oh, that's makeup, or oh, that set is made of fake wood. It looks too good, and so they should have introduced noise into the image to make it look shitter, so that you can buy into the artifice more.
Everything it's either too dark or too clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've gotten it wrong along the lines. I watched something the other day, and it was a night scene, and fuck me, it was the brightest night I'd ever seen, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because like your brain, you're watching a film, so your brain is told, this is the evening. Cool. This is the evening, and this is dark. But I can see exactly what they're doing. I can see everything they're picking up, and they're walking around as if it is dark. This reads as everything I need it to read. Whereas now, you squint, you're like, what the fuck's going on? Is anything happening? Oh, someone's there.
Yeah.
In a horror film, all of a sudden something jumps out of you in the dark, and you're like, well, if it wasn't for the audio cue, I wouldn't know there was anything to be scared about. Like,
yeah.
And when it isn't doing that, it's too clean. Like, everything looks immaculate. Everyone looks too polished. Everyone's like stunning Chad mode. And it's just like, what is going on? Like, I watched The Constant Gardener the other day. Some of that was shot in 16mm.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me that doesn't look great? Like, it looks
I'm sure
perfect.
It looks fine.
It looks exactly as it needed. I think that's another thing. It's looking exactly as it needs for the film. People don't seem to realize that. Like, things don't need to look Netflix. They need to look what's right for the story. So if you want to shoot it clean with no fucking, like bokeh, you're shooting telly. You're shooting a soap opera. You want it to look as real as possible. Go shoot it like that. But if I'm watching a film, there's cinematic language that we have had 100 years to watch films to know this is a film and this is how we're watching it. But everyone's so desperate to be gritty and real, and you're just like, ugh.
But it isn't real.
It's not.
Your brain
it's
knows it's not
film.
real, and your brain doesn't want to be convinced that it's real. That's the thing people don't forget. This is my disagreement with James Cameron, who I hesitate to disagree with about anything technical, but I do think he's wrong when it comes to frame rate, because he's like, no, it's historical training that we just think that we need to watch films in 24 frames a second, but actually, you watch my film in 48 or 60p in 4K, and I just don't think that's correct when it comes to something that takes place on a fantasy planet or fantasy world or whatever. Sports, 100%.
Sure.
I would love to watch a sport, the Super Bowl or whatever in 4K 60p 3D. Great.
Perfect.
That'd be awesome, because I know it's real.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching Gandalf run around with some hobbits, you shoot that in 48 frames. Well, we know what happened. It's the wrong format for that particular artifice. We need that few steps removed from the source that was captured to what our brain accepts for there to be true acceptance. Otherwise, you get uncanny valley and the brain rejects it.
100%. And, he's not wrong. It is through, it just so happened that the speed of cranking the film through the box was 24 frames, that was the easiest sort of that is how it happened. But we had... Well,
it was a minimum. It was 18, I think, to begin with, but that's a little too few frames. So but yeah, however, I forget exactly how it all landed on 24, and some of it's to do with the hertz rate of the power and all that shit. Yeah. But in any case, it is a minimum, and it's a really, really solid minimum that our brains need, especially, again, as have to make this point land, is that it's genre specific. It's like, if you're going to make fantasy, if you're going to make sci-fi, something that is clearly not real, you need less information per second for the brain of the audience to be able to accept it and go, I'm watching a dream. I accept what I'm seeing.
Yes.
I'm going along with the artifice. And that's why old films still hold up. You watch Alien today, fucking holds up.
For sure. And
so
they shot, Day for Night in Lawrence of Arabia. In the desert, there are shadows on a blue desert because it was day for night. You're going to tell me that's unrealistic, that film? You're going to tell me that film, you can tell it... Nope. You're going to follow 3.5 hours of that film. Just give me more. Give me fucking more.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got started yet on Lawrence of Arabia, but we will. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And again, your brain knows you're watching a film. Your brain knows it's fiction, and it's willing to indulge in it because it's been given a safety net of reduced information. When you're presenting it with something that is so close to reality, the brain, just on a biological level, has to make a choice. Is this real or is this not real? And it can see through it enough to go, not real. And it makes that decision and it breaks the illusion. But the whole point of it is an illusion.
Yeah.
And you can't indulge in the illusion if you think it's real. You have to know that it's an illusion and sit back in your chair and go, it's okay. It's not a survival situation, but your brain doesn't know any different. Your brain is trying to help you survive.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Hence the uncanny valley. Yeah.
100%. No, it is an interesting one. And I'm always baffled whenever I go to a friend's house and they haven't turned off motion smoothing. And I'm just like...
Fucking hate it, man.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Watching stuff.
I've calibrated friends' TVs.
When they leave the room. I'm just like... Get rid of that.
Well, yeah. Oh, yes, I know.
Fucking idiots. So, actually, we haven't talked about your work at all. Do you want to talk about your work at all?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, it's difficult to talk about at times because it's like it exposes a lot as well. It's like, well, why? What's he doing now? Nothing.
It feels like we are both in a bit of a funk about it right now. And I don't know if we want to bring it up.
Well, it's been a 20-year funk, so no. Look, I'm more than happy to talk about it because when else am I going to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll just I'm self-deprecating, so it's funny. It is funny, and it's actually no. It's good to talk about it because there'll be someone who listens to this who's maybe 10 years younger than me, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, it's all right,"
there's going to be fucking periods of nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
100%.
There's going to be more periods of nothing than there will be periods of something.
Yeah.
But the something will outweigh the nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I do believe the cream does rise to the top. I do believe that. But maybe I have to believe that. Because what else am I going to believe?
Yeah. Because the other option is where I currently at is the acceptance of maybe I'm just not that good of a writer. Maybe I'm just not that good of a filmmaker. And it's like, you're a multi-award-winning filmmaker. Like,
yeah,
that's not the case.
No,
like, if you were a bad filmmaker, you wouldn't have got this far. And it's like, yeah, but maybe I'm not. And it's like, well, maybe you need to chill out, Ted. Just fucking do something else for 20 minutes and just come back to it.
No, welcome to the club. And, you know, watch some of Martin Scorsese's earliest short films, or Ridley Scott's earliest Boy in a Bicycle. There's not much in that where you go, I can see that guy making Alien. Like, he got better, you know, like everybody. They all get better and better. Yep. 100%.
All of his shorts.
Yeah, man. And there's the one of the guy shaving, and it's good, it's fine, but it's not Goodfellas. You don't watch it and go, that guy's going to make Goodfellas. No, Christopher Nolan. You watch some of his watch is it Jitterbug? You know, watch that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's good. But you don't go, that guy's going to make Inception. So,
I mean, I watch all of his films with the same level of disdain. So, I watch Jitterbug and I'm like, this motherfucker's going to make fucking Inception one day. Jesus Christ.
I have some mixed feelings there about him. I don't know him as a person. I don't care. You can only judge the films. But yeah, he's such a master of making things that are effective, entertaining, and kind of hides in a way within that. Like, the flaws are really well hidden, so you got to forgive that as well and go, well, he's just a great illusionist. I don't know. I'm sort of undecided on him because his canon is so. It's been so long now, and it's like the early stuff is so good, and then there's a kind of tipping point for me where I kind of get off the boat a little bit. But I'm like this with a lot of filmmakers, where I watch all their early stuff, and even bands. I'm like, nah, I can't.
Yeah.
After 1998, nah, that was it.
That's when music stopped. Right?
Yeah. I know. I don't want to be like that, but I can't help it sometimes. And
I think there are certain filmmakers, though, that to relate directly to something I've seen recently, Disclosure Day, Spielberg should stop. Ridley Scott should stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he never will.
But why do you think? Why do you want to actually make them stop? Like, how committed to that are you?
0 to none.
Yeah, like, it's just words. But I know what you mean. Like,
it's fluff. It's clickbait. Come on.
That's the title of the podcast. Spielberg should stop.
Ridley Scott. Shit.
Yep.
But I couldn't care less if, they're not listening to me. So Spielberg's not sat at home waiting for the next episode of this podcast being like, I wonder if Ted liked my last film.
Yeah. And don't worry, he is going to stop at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I think it's the closest I ever get to that weird obsessive fan sort of behavior. Like, I don't care that Star Wars, like, I think there's more Star Wars content. Use the C word there. There's more Star Wars materials that I don't like than I do like.
Yeah.
And for so long, I loved Star Wars. Up until probably about 25, I loved Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't sure if I had actually accidentally said Star Trek because I speak of Star Wars so little. Just now, I thought, like, oh, did I say Star Trek? Because it's like, I just don't care. And if someone said, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, they've ruined my childhood, and it's like, they haven't.
No.
The films you watched as a kid still exist.
Yeah.
And, like, there weren't any more when you were a kid. So the fact that they've made more since hasn't changed that those ones still exist and those ones still do the thing you want them to do.
Yeah.
So Spielberg, my definitive statement of he should quit directing, well, I'll just keep watching Close Encounters and Jaws and Jurassic Park and love them.
Yeah.
Like Minority Report, I'll keep loving that. Like, it's...
And I'm a bit like this with bands. Like, I can forgive anything that Metallica do because they made Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All.
Right.
They've done it, even by that stage, they've done enough, and there's still great stuff after that too. So it's fine. What if they put out a country album today where there's no distortion, no guitar solos, and James doesn't even sing? I can forgive that because they've done enough. And I sort of feel like that with, I feel like that with Nolan. I feel like that with Spielberg. You've done enough. You've made a few great, genuinely great films. So.
Foo Fighters are one. Foo Fighters, they're the ones for me where, like, I always root for the next album. I'm always like, it's going to be so fucking good. And then I listen to the next album and I'm like, well, I still got Colour in the Shape.
I met Dave Grohl by accident.
Still got One by One. Oh, what? I thought you were meeting Taylor.
I didn't know who I was meeting. I was in LA with my mate from Blackmagic. I was working for them at the time, and we went to this small film production company that we were trying to get them to start using the cameras. This is like 2013, I think. And
that big, not oblong bit. It was like
it was the exactly the original cinema camera and the pocket cinema cameras and things like that, and just trying to get them to use more of our stuff and use Da Vinci more and that kind of thing. Anyway, so the guy, we had a contact that we were meeting, and we met him and we were talking about stuff in the foyer of the production company, and then there was just this guy sitting on the sofa who had long hair, and he was like, he didn't know where we were from, who we were from, but he knew we were from a tech company of some kind. He was like, can you guys get me a PlayStation? And then I turned and I was like, yeah. And I didn't know who he was. And my mate was like, I saw his face, and just from his face, I was like, oh no, this must be something. And then I kind of clocked him and I was like, shh, I do know that face. Because I'm not a Foo Fighters guy, but I was a Nirvana guy. And and then I remember, there was some commotion, and then he kind of whispered to me, "That's fucking Dave Grohl," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you too." And he was really nice. And then we went to this.
You were like, "Shit, the drummer from Nirvana."
Yeah, I know. I know. There were some faux pas. I was like, "Don't say that. Don't say that." But then we went to their studio and saw their rehearsal space and everything. And the whole time I was like, "Fuck! I wish I was a fan. This is amazing." And I got to take guitar picks, and I got to see all this shit, behind the curtain that, oh my God, if only I was into them, I would appreciate. Yeah.
That's dope. I'd love to, like, a friend of mine kind of insinuated that he won't ever consider I've ever made it until Dave Grohl does the soundtrack to one of my films. And I was like, thanks. Like, he's like, win every fucking award under the sun. If Dave ain't done your soundtrack, I'm not impressed. And it's like,
okay,
son of a bitch.
He doesn't tend to do soundtracks.
He did a film called Touch in the 90s, and I believe it was after Nirvana, and I think it might have been like before the first Foo Fighters album came out, or it was just after. But he's credited as David Grohl. Like,
that's amazing. I did not know that.
And it's a weird soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's a shit film.
So he couldn't rescue it. Yeah.
Have I got it? No, I think I might have sold it. Which is the ultimate sign of how much I dislike a film. If I would sell it, I'd sooner get £1 for it than keep it on my shelf.
Yeah. No, that space is worth more than £1.
Exactly. That's prime real estate on there. But yeah. Okay. Well, sounds good. Let's actually get into it.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm picking up an accent. I'm guessing you weren't born in the UK.
No. I was born in Australia, from Melbourne, which I like to call the Paris of Australia, but then it gets mocked and laughed at.
As in Paris, Texas, not Paris, France.
That's what I mean, but no one gets the joke.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, like I kind of did split my growing up over Melbourne and Sydney, though. So I did high school in Sydney. I love Sydney. I love Melbourne. But got out of there 10, 11 years ago to come here to mainly to chase love. And it worked. We're married. We have a child. But also I was working for Blackmagic, enjoying the job a lot and getting a lot of really great, like the Dave Grohl experience, little things like that, getting to see behind the curtain, getting to learn about how the technology is actually made, how cameras are made, how video works, how post-production works. So just learned an absolute shit ton of stuff, and also being given responsibility, which was really good for the first time. But it was such an intense job that I wasn't getting to do a lot of filmmaking. And so that's one of the reasons I came here, aside from chasing love, because I thought, well, if I move there for my wife, then I know London has big post-production, visual effects kind of, it's a big town for that.
Yeah. And
it has somewhat of a film industry, unlike Australia, unfortunately. Like, it's just too small, Australia, to have what I would consider an industry. It's got it's got something, but it
has a camera department, sure. Yeah.
It's very small, and and obviously there's just not a lot of money to go around and all that sort of thing. So it just made sense for me to come here. But yeah, I mean, then spent a really good couple of years working in post in London, in TV, and working, like, just really seeing how stuff gets made, decisions that are made to make stuff.
Yeah.
And then what's willing to be spent, where money is willing to be spent or not. And the incredible compressed time frame that you work in to get, especially TV, made. It was an incredible training ground where I was like, I had the tech sort of background. I knew how things are set up and why things go wrong. Oh, that's the wrong frame rate. That's why, and stuff like that. But I didn't really have any experience in post. So it was really, to do it properly, I would have done it the other way around. I would have worked in post first, then for Blackmagic, so I actually knew what I was talking about. But anyway, it didn't work out that way. And then after about 3 years of working in post, got to work for Foundry as a video editor, and mostly just making marketing videos, but also, again, just learning bits and pieces about visual effects, which I have to admit I'm really not interested in. I should have been more interested, but I can't master everything, and I know what I am interested in and what I'm not. And I edit videos, but I'm not an editor. I'm a writer and a director. That's what I'm best at, and that's what I've spent the last 10 years. Even though I've been working in the industry, I've still just focused on that. Like, I didn't want to learn how to be a compositor. And I'm fucking glad I didn't, because now that's all, who knows what's happening with visual effects these days. So I didn't want to invest that time. I wanted to invest that time in getting better at writing feature films. Because at the end of the day, that's like your property portfolio. It's like having real estate. It's like, so I guess to answer your question from earlier, like, fucking write it. It is worth having, because it's a feature film in the drawer is still worth something, even though it may not be getting made.
Yes.
It's another thing. It's another piece of property. It's a huge investment of time and energy, but it will pay off, because just having done it, it will pay off. In the same way that if you go to the gym for a year, that'll pay off. So it's, you're being in the gym for your screenwriting and your storytelling capacity. You can't write a feature film from start to finish, even if it takes you 4 years, and learn nothing or not get better. You will. Mm-hmm. So I knew that. So yeah, that's what I put my time into.
I from a writer's perspective on this, have started to think, okay, so if the feature isn't going to get made, right, and that's not a comment on my work, that's just a comment on the industry, it's not going to get made.
Yeah.
Do I convert that story into a more? Do I convert it into a novel essentially, or a comic book? But a novel was the one I'm thinking of at the moment, because I could at least self-publish and drum up an audience that way.
Yep.
Do you think that's worth doing, or do you think it's worth doing it as the script first? Because I think certain stories have certain outputs. Like I have some scripts which they're comic scripts. They're not. I wouldn't even entertain the idea of trying to make them into a film because I just don't think they'd work.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm so early into this idea I've got that I'm like, if I think about this too much, it's going to be a film. But if I think about it as a novel, I could write it as a novel.
Yeah, it's hard because they used to say if you want to sell a screenplay, write a novel.
Right.
And today there's now, I've seen an agency that's been created that actually is flipping that script a little bit, pardon the pun, where they're taking screenplays that haven't been made and saying to that writer, turn this into a novel, and then we have 2 properties that we can sell,
Yes.
and you still get the book rights and all that sort of thing. So it's actually really good for that writer to do that. But, you know, writing a novel, it's no small investment of time.
Oh, it's harder. So, it's harder.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't. I haven't since I was very, very young, and I only did it once, and then I was like, this is why
I'm hesitant to do it as a novel, because one, I'm not a novelist. I'm not a writer in that way. I'm a script writer. And even then I would say I am a big pictures guy, and I work best with having someone next to me to bounce off the ideas while they're typing, and then we come up with the idea, and then I'll happily be like, right, you gave up 51%, it's your story. Like,
well, in that case I would say don't do it, because if it's not your comfort zone, what you could end up doing is spending 3 years writing a novel that still doesn't get anywhere, and you hate or whatever, and it's not taking advantage of what your strengths are. So I would stick to your strengths, and I would push the comic book stuff more, because you know people in that world, and so that's something that could actually be realized. Yeah, like if you did that, and then you got your mate to do the graphics, and then you could put some of it on Instagram or something like that to generate some interest. I can see that more being the kind of project that actually does land somewhere out there. And then they go, maybe. I'd love to see a feature some movie about this. I see it as a movie. And you go, well, funny you say that, because I've got the screenplay right here.
And they're like, shut up. We're going to get our own people, and we're going to get a director. It's like, but I'm a director. No, you're not. You're a comic book writer. I'm like, no!
Well, I've been finding those kind of narratives for 25 years. And, you know, I've got a friend, a really, really good friend, who's super talented, who's just watched his short film be destroyed by an incompetent director. And the reason that happened is because my friend, the writer, hasn't insisted and pushed as, no, I'm a director. And this is a problem in our industry. I fucking hate it. I don't understand why people don't respect writers, because without a screenplay, you got nothing.
Yeah.
And it's the thing people spend the least amount of money on. It's the thing that people don't seem to value. But without it, what have you got? What are you going to go shoot? So anyway,
pictures that have no direction, like that's nonsense.
Yeah, no,
I insist on having the writer on the set.
So
because
absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't want the writer there. He's going to be sticking his oar in." I'm like, he's probably going to keep us true to the story.
Yeah,
he's not going to let us deviate too far.
Yeah,
and then also, if we've done something or said something, I want the writer to get us out of a hole that they will know the answer to, because it's their story.
Absolutely,
so,
and that comment shows such little faith in that writer.
Yeah,
sticking their oar in. What are you talking about? Like, you know, you're so afraid of what you have brought to it as a director that they're going to challenge that, jeopardize it.
Right?
No. And so watching my friend go through this horrific experience where he was barely allowed on set. he turned up on there was money put into this short, and it had someone in it who's a name and all of that, and so there was some quite significant money put into this, but the director didn't understand his script, and I really mean that. They did not understand what he had intended, and they rewrote it, and they just changed the nature of it. They made a different film out of his script, but it was a kind of hybrid, so it's sort of neither here nor there now. And then, but that's the one they went with because that person was the director, so that's what they land on, the authority there of the director. And he had to go through the suffering of having to be on set watching his work being completely destroyed. And so I've been sort of talking to him about it since then, and just been like, dude, the next time, you got to stop calling yourself a writer. Just say you're a director now. Make one thing in your backyard that's 30 seconds long, that's a film, and you go, and now you've done it. You're a director now. Yeah. And so now you can just say that, and people will stop arguing with you. And it shouldn't be that way, but it is. And so I kind of came to that realization about 10 years ago, and I've stopped sort of saying much about the writing, and now I just say, yeah, I'm a filmmaker or a director. And then it's like, yeah, I write too, but I write so that I can direct. That's why I do it. It's not hire me, please, as a writer, so you can take my work and fuck it up. No.
That's another thing as well. I will say, like, oh, I'm a filmmaker and I write some things, but if they would say, like, oh, well, can we hire you as a writer? I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I write,
exactly,
but I would not accept a writer's job.
No. So the same thing with your comic story. If it was like a graphic novel or something that existed in that form, you would still just want to be attached as the creator and director or something, but something that involves the word director, and maybe make a short film out of it in some way, or animation or something, so that at least you've got a credit that says I directed that, so that if anybody came along and said, we want to make this, you're like, great, let's talk. I'm the director of this. And
what do you want to do? Yeah.
There's something really, we're all afraid to say the word no. And there's incredible power in saying, no, here's what we're going to do. And risking the thing never happening, because a lot of people who are insecure on the other side of that discussion, they want to push the authority argument and say, well, I'm doing you a favor. I'm Mr. Hollywood. And it's like, okay, all right, you can think that, but I'm still the guy who created this, and you want it. So
that
I'm
must
directing
mean something. Yeah.
Or it's not happening. I can live with that. And I've been in those conversations where I've had to say that. I've had to say, look, you don't realize that I would rather this never gets made ever than it get destroyed and ruined by someone else. I'm making it. And that's fine. If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to trust me with that, totally fine. But it's not going anywhere. And it works. People go, well, at least he's got commitment. At least he's got conviction, and he's committed to this. He's got a vision, that's what they look for. So no one watched Kane Parsons' material and went, let's get a different director in. No, they were like, that's his vision. And kudos to them for trusting him. And it paid off. It's a well-directed film. So, I think people have got to stop saying yes to things that they're not comfortable with, and trusting that the material is good, and the reason why that person wants to make it is because it's good. And so they're not going to risk, well, if they're willing to risk walking away, then you know where you stand. They weren't the right person.
It was never going to get made the right way. If they walk away from it, it was never going to get made the right way.
No, I think if you could ask my friend that question now, would you rather the situation you have now where this film has been completely distorted and changed and ruined, and take all that back in time and actually risk going to another different producer? He'd probably say, I'd take it to a different producer. There was a reason I wrote it. There's a reason I wanted it to be in a certain way, and that's what I had to say. And they took his voice away. So the same kind of thing I say to actors. Like, you should become writers. Write the part that you're not getting, because especially women, I just think they get shit roles.
Oh my god,
they just don't get cast in good roles. So write the role that you want to play. Become a writer.
100%. It does baffle my mind that I know a writer creates characters and all that kind of stuff, but there are certain elements wherever you hear like it's a room full of writers writing for female characters, and you're just like, but you're all guys. And it's like, what, blokes can't write for women? Women can't write for blokes? It's like, oh, they 100% can. But get some women in there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to write for someone who's a sports fan, so I'd get someone who knew about sports in. Like, what do you want about?
It's just diligent
first-hand
research.
Information. Like, go fucking look it up. It's your research.
Absolutely.
All of this came on from I asked you where you're from.
Sorry, we got into that. It's gonna be a long one.
So let's just get that first question out of the way. What was the first film you saw at the cinema?
Great, let's get into that. Well, it's a short answer because I don't have much memory of it, but
perfect.
These are great questions, by the way.
Thank you.
So first film I saw at the cinema would have been, from my memory anyway, The Never-Ending Story.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if we saw it. If we saw it when it came out, I would have been 3. So I reckon back in those days, films played for a very long time in cinema. 6 months, 8 months, the film was still there. So I probably saw it when I was 4, maybe 5.
Would Australia have not had a later release?
Yeah, probably 85, 86 was probably when it was. I don't know, but I do remember seeing it on the big screen. Profound.
Yeah. Were you a fan of the band Atreyu?
Heard of them, but was they a bit more hardcore or punk? I can't remember the genre that they were. Or black metal.
I think they were more metal.
Yeah.
But like that 2000s metal. I don't know. I might be showing my own ignorance here. This
is where I got
my type of music.
Yeah. No, this is where I'm such an old man. So by the year 2000, there wasn't much in the way of metal that was coming out that was new that I really got into. I was still stuck in the 80s and 90s, and I kind of still am.
I pretty much only listened to New York punk from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, so right. Yeah.
And it's only things like Amyl and the Sniffers that I'm like, oh, they sound pretty decent, and they're new, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I'll listen to them. But otherwise, like, you'll hear me fucking blasting the germs and, adolescence. It's like I don't.
It's a very specific scene that I had friends who were really into hardcore in high school, and they were right into that stuff. Yeah,
I fucking love hardcore.
Yeah,
I saw. Have you ever heard of the band Life of Agony?
Of course. Yeah. No, that album is that first album. Yeah, is incredible, and I still pull it out.
River Runs Red.
It's great.
I went to see them. Was it last year? Because it was the 30th anniversary of River Runs Red. And they just played River Runs Red start to finish. And then a medley of their other hits at the end. Yeah. And I was just like, this is a fucking sick gig.
Yeah.
It was rad.
No, it's a masterpiece, that album. And I don't know, bands don't do this much anymore that I know of, but it's such a 90s kind of trademark of having the in-between tracks where it was just audio of like stuff happening and telling a story. And that album does a really good job of it. And you never hear the protagonist speak. It's just the breathing and other people yelling at him, "You're no good!" Stuff. And it's so great.
Miserable but wonderful.
Yeah.
So oh, nice. I'm pleased there's a Life of Agony fan here.
But Never-Ending Story had a pretty profound effect. Great fantasy film. Great coming of age story.
It does sound like fantasy is the thing that sort of gripped you from a young age, because if you were that, and then your first feature you wrote was a fantasy story, you're a big Oblivion, Skyrim guy, just loves James Bond. It's like, so that would have been your was that the start of for you to watch, Excalibur and
big time
all the others? Yeah,
because it was a good time for it. In the early '80s, all of the '80s actually was such a great time for fantasy. You had Jim Henson stuff all the time. You had Labyrinth and films like that, and and obviously Star Wars. It was so embedded in the culture. Like there was just always like a Jabba the Hutt figurine somewhere in the house or something like that, and it was so fantasy. And because I think Star Wars is not a sci-fi film, it's a fantasy film. It just happens to be set in space. But the sort of like, I don't like the word tropes, but the embedded myth is a fantasy myth, not a science fiction concept. So fantasy was huge. And as a child, like you're still living half in a fantasy world anyway. Like I know this from my daughter, like if I'm reading a bedtime story to her, not so much now as age 4, but age 2 and 3, you read a bedtime story to her and she starts talking to the characters on the page.
Yeah, she's there.
She's like,
she's
yeah. She's like, Gruffalo, why are you doing that? And then she's expecting an answer. And so then I'm giving her an answer with the Gruffalo voice, and she knows on some level it's Dad, but on the other level, she's getting what she needs. So this is why children are great actors, because when you ask them to imagine something, it sort of almost becomes real for them. So fantasy is great for children.
Nice. It was a genre that just did not grab me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like
it was the gangster films for you, wasn't it?
It was the gangster films. I just loved it. Lahane was just the only thing I'd ever watched as a kid. Like I don't know what it was. Like fantasy and cowboys were not two things that like I was into as a young boy. So like only recently have I got, like I'd say last year I discovered in Eastwood films. And I was like, yeah. This Clint seems like a good fellow. And then I went and I watched all of his films, literally all of them.
Bridges of Madison County is pretty damn awesome.
Nice.
Underrated film.
I was about to say, it's a nice one that's the one you've chosen, because like it's not one that gets spoken about enough. No. And then I even started watching old episodes of Rawhide. Like, I went back and I was like, this man has been going since the 50s. Like, he's been churning out quality stuff for a while. Yeah. But again, fantasy wasn't something that I ever like got into. But it is always interesting when a lot of the people that I get on with, I'd like to say I get on with you. Like a lot of the things that you didn't have to audibly say anything, but for the listener, he nodded. Grinned and nodded and was, shaking fists and excitement.
I'm trying to keep your audio clean.
Oh, cheers. Yeah, cheers. And, like, a lot of the people that, I do get on with, fantasy is a big deal in their life. And I keep thinking, like, I should go back and I should give them all a go again. Like, I think the Lord of the Rings films are fine. Yeah. And that's not a shit take on them. Like, they're perfectly fine. I'll happily watch them. I don't care about them. Like, I'm not whatever. But the fact that, like, some of my closest friends, they've got, like, full body tattoos. They love Lord of the Rings. And I'm just like, it's all right. And I'm like, I should probably give it another go, and I should probably give it a lot of fantasy a go. So it's interesting.
No, I think you're right. Not because I agree with you about Lord of the Rings necessarily. It's just that one of my best friends is the same. Like, he just can't really go with fantasy. Like, it's just not his thing, And I
used to say,
probably not going to change.
I don't like that time period. And a guy I used to know would be like, what time period do you mean? I'm like, you know what I mean. That medieval shit. And he's like, it's not a time period. And I'm like, I don't care for that.
Yeah. But do you like swords and sandals epics though? Do you like Ben-Hur?
No. Even though, like, I would say in a historical sense, like Romans and Egyptians and Greeks, like in a history sense, ancient history sense, I love it. Like, I was annoyed that I had to learn the Tudors at school because I would rather learn about Egyptology. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so whenever it's sword and sorcery, sword and sandal stuff, I'm always a bit like, well, this should rev my engine.
Yep.
But it doesn't.
Oh, that's
and then
interesting.
I'm like, give me some grubby sci-fi, and I'm all there for it.
Yeah. No, it's got to just be a taste thing, which is fine, man. You know, this is the thing that we maybe forget today, is that films aren't made for every single human on the planet.
No.
You know? And they can't be. So, yeah, there's an audience out there, but it's a wedge.
It is, yeah. So, as a kid of a certain age, VHS was available to you. What film did you watch over and over again as a kid?
Yeah, I loved answering this question. So there's the obvious stuff like Star Wars and Temple of Doom and Goonies and stuff, but yes. I'm gonna pull out the Australian card, because it is true we did watch Crocodile Dundee a lot.
Nice.
It is true, and it is a great film. It's really fun, and it's got heart. I haven't seen it for about 30 years, but I saw it a lot as a kid. My brother even won like a competition, some radio competition, where he won like the leather jacket. And
sick.
And because he was like 9, it was obviously way too big for him. So they agreed to sell it. You know, my parents and him agreed, I don't need this for 20 years, so maybe I'll just sell it. But Crocodile Dundee's, really good. I'm really proud of that film. I like it a lot.
I think it is like, as a kid, it is like your first introduction to Australia. If you're not from Australia, like you might get Neighbours, you might get Home and Away, you might be aware of those. But Crocodile Dundee is definitely something that you watched as a kid. That's Not a Knife, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm fully aware of all of those sort of, you know, I feel like it's Crocodile Dundee, and then it's the guy who's in Cocktail and FX.
Oh, yeah, Brian Brown.
Brian Brown.
He's great.
I think they're the first, like, 2 Australians.
Yep.
that Brits of our age were told, like, by the way, this is Australian. And it's like, oh!
Yep.
And, like, yeah, so Crocodile Dundee is a good... we watched it a lot as a kid. Have you heard the recent controversy about it?
No.
Don't worry. They re-released it. They re-released it on 4K.
The CGI crocodile.
AI crocodile, please. It's 2026.
Yeah, sorry,
No, there's the bit where he touches the crotch of a transgender person, and it's meant to be an embarrassing calling them out as being trans,
right?
And they've cut that scene.
Okay,
and
I don't even remember the gag.
Honestly, I don't remember the gag, but I also don't agree that they should have cut it, because it's a historical film.
They should cut the whole of Breakfast at Tiffany's then.
Genuinely,
like burn the film then, if you
burn
feel
the
that way,
fucking
you know?
eggs, mate, because that's not right. But that is the thing. It's like I think it's a man from Australian outback goes to New York City.
That's the joke, isn't it? He's a fish out of water. He has no fucking idea what he's doing.
And he has no idea, right?
Yeah.
And yes, the joke is at her expense ultimately.
Right. Yeah.
But I also think that the learning curve that you'd get from it is still applicable. So
I don't remember the character, because is the character actually genuinely trying to pass as female, or is it more like a cross-dressing, like a transvestite type situation where it's like
I believe
it's not got the same level of like attempt.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe she is selling herself as a woman.
Right.
And when I
okay.
say selling herself, I don't mean like in a sex worker way.
Oh,
I just
okay.
mean in like she's selling herself as like, hey, do you want to come home with me, baby? I am.
Oh, right. I
And
usually don't even remember this. Wow.
Honestly,
it's amazing.
like
See, this is the thing, right? What you think is important as a child, you know, you see things differently. You're not an adult. You don't see all the context and the political implications of things. You just go along with it. You know, what I remember is
Big Knife,
the crocodile scaring the shit out of me, and it's a great jump scare. And also the character of him where he's like, he gets his mate Wally. He's like, what time is it? He's like, oh, it's 2:30. Okay, yeah, cool. And then he goes, oh, it's 2:30, and he's trying to impress her. He's like, and she's like, how do you know? He's like, oh, I can tell by the sun, you know. And it's just a really great character comedy moment, which makes you like him because he's wants to impress the pretty American who's come over. Yeah,
and it's things like him walking on the doesn't he walk on a ledge at some point? And like, there's kind of just like an element of a fearlessness.
There's a guy trying to commit suicide. I think is like a finance guy who's like, I can't do it anymore, and he's trying to, and that's my memory of it.
Along the ledge, and and it's just like, I think what I took away from that film was definitely the sense of like being sure of who you are.
Yeah,
being a certain and it doesn't matter if good guy, bad guy, whatever. Just having a personal faith in yourself and being like, no, I know what I'm about. You know, I'm not afraid if you're going to threaten me because, like, I know I've got it in my arsenal, whether it's a big knife or a way to get out of it. I've got confidence in myself. I think he shows that there's a confidence. And as a kid, I remember thinking that. I remember thinking like, oh, he's a very cool, confident guy. Like, I want to be like that. I want to be a cool, confident guy. Yeah. And, you know.
And it's a good film.
Also, a boat. Is it like a yacht? No, it's a sailboat, isn't it? Like in Manhattan at the end. I remember that being like. Doesn't he have the boat that he finally got it?
No, you're thinking of
Romancing the Stone.
Romancing the Stone.
Thinking of Romancing the Stone.
But I see why you were thinking of Romancing the Stone. We need something like that.
We need more Romancing the Stone. I do not understand why we don't have more of those.
I love Romancing the Stone.
Oh, mate, it's so good. It's such a good
But I love Michael Douglas. I'll watch him in just about anything.
Oh, my God. I'm pleased there's someone... the amount of people... throw shade on that man for no reason. Like,
no, well, they don't understand.
Gold.
No,
like,
he's great.
Black Rain. He's sick in Black Rain.
We could start there. We could start anywhere. He's awesome.
The fact that he was a stock car driver and he wanted to just be a stock car driver, and they were like, "No, you've got to go do something." So he's like, "Fine, I'll go produce my buddy's movie."
Yeah,
and that was fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Wins him an Oscar, and it's like, what the shit? Like, get out of here.
Also, to have the humility to not cast himself because he was going to play that role.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He knew it. No. Fucking action Jack Nicholson. He's going to do it better than me.
Yep.
And hilarious that we all root for a fucking paedophile in that film, but sure.
Do we? I don't remember. Fuck.
But the reason he's in prison is because, come on... She looked 15 to me. I'm not going to say anything. And say, what do you mean she looked 15 to you, Jack? 15's not an acceptable age.
Well, if you want to talk about rooting for pedophiles, I love how where this
Indiana Jones.
We've done trans, now let's do pedophilia.
Yeah.
But, you know, what other topics can we hit? Speaking of rooting for pedophiles, have you seen Happiness, the Todd Solondz film?
No, it's on my list.
Put it to the top because that film would never get made today, but it's awesome, and there is a pedophile character in it, and you do root for him, and you find yourself going, I can't believe I'm feeling empathy for this guy.
Well,
it's
Indiana Jones
great
is
writing.
A pedophile. Indiana Jones is a pedophile. Indiana Jones is a pedophile. I'll keep saying it till everyone fucking hears.
Oh yeah, I was a child. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And there's archive footage of George and Stephen discussing it. And I think George Lucas wanted her to be like 13. And Steven Spielberg was like,
that hasn't aged well.
he was like, I don't want her to be that young. Let's say 15.
Yep.
And it's like, oh,
yeah.
15's not okay.
15,
but
done.
You're gonna turn down Harrison Ford in his prime? No, you're not.
Times were different.
Well, I feel like talking about pedophiles. What was the first? Well, I'm going to say R18X.
Yeah.
What was it in Australia?
Yeah, it was R. It was R18 plus. And so
yes.
Yeah, I remember some of my fondest memories was going to the video store and wandering around. I still, if someone could bottle that smell of VHS tapes and popcorn and game consoles like the Street Fighter 2 and stuff like that and Mortal Kombat, or get that smell, put it in a bottle, I would wear that as perfume. I love that smell. But anyway, and movie posters too. Like they had great posters, and you could get them. You could just grab one. They'd have them in yeah.
There was the guy that had like the small one in the petrol station in our village when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Every Saturday I'd go in and say, "Can I have last week's posters?"
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Yep, cool." So I would just get rolls of posters every week, and I would just wallpaper my walls with them.
That's what we did, yeah. I had Terminator 2, it was... fucking wish I still had that. Yeah, but anyway, so one of my favourite things to do was to go into the horror or cult section or the action section and wander through and, because obviously, again, no internet, nowhere to check things or know who's who or what. You just look at a VHS tape, you look at the cover and you go, that looks cool. That looks like a scary movie. And but then, of course, like the R. And the R looks... because it's in a diamond, it just looks so severe and like you shouldn't be watching this,
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's a tough one. I had to actually seek outside help with this question because I went to my brother who's 3 years older and I was like, which do you think it was? Because we used to have a mate whose dad would get the video and then he'd copy it. He copied everything.
Sick.
And and so we got to see a lot of stuff that we shouldn't have, and so like Jaws isn't R-rated, but I got to see that very young because of that, But I think the answer to this question is RoboCop.
Okay,
I reckon that was the first R-rated film I saw because I was pretty young, but I think in that mix would be. Bloodsport and Kickboxer, like those two, I think both are rated.
Right.
And but I'm going to give it to RoboCop because it had a deeper impression on me, and it's a great R-rated film.
It is a great R-rated film. Like there's a lot of those films from that time period where, like, an R-rated or an 18-rated film now, do they exist? I don't know. And if they do. It's just because they're gory,
Yeah.
Whereas RoboCop, it really feels like a fuck you to the audience in the most like this isn't an enjoyable, like, it obviously you're going to enjoy it, but it's like this whole world is fucking miserable. You know what I mean? And there's going to be language, there's going to be themes, there's going to be violence. Whatever you think of like a good police, fuck you, we're having it like this. I mean, Verhoeven. It had to be Verhoeven who made it.
Yeah.
But like there's so many things about it that make it such a solid like 18 rated film.
It's incredible. I mean, which scene do you want to pick? Do you want to pick the guy getting run over who turns into Toxic Avenger? Or and even like I'm so glad I got exposed to the satirical stuff as a kid, like that it went in my brain, all that shit about like the fake commercials that they made.
Yeah.
It's just so awesome. Nuke them before they get you. Or like all that, those. And
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd buy that for $1. It's
I still say that.
I mean, it's so quotable. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
That would have been the first. And the scene of Ed 209 pumping this guy full of lead. And it just goes on and on until he's just eviscerated. And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But not to a 7 or 8-year-old. You're kind of watching it going, Jesus, I'm scared of that robot, you know?
Just to get that heart palpitations. It's like, I shouldn't be watching this.
That was the excitement of it.
That was the excitement. And I'm gutted that I don't get that anymore.
No, you're right. You know, ratings don't really mean anything anymore, do they?
The closest I get to I shouldn't be watching this is when Kirsty says, don't watch that without me, I'd like to watch it, and I still watch it.
And then you watch it again, you pretend, oh no, he's the killer.
Oh no, it's so scary. And then like you jump the gun, and you're like, oh no. Oh wait, no. Wait. Yeah, oh no, there it is. Yeah. I did that with Wishmaster.
Oh, right,
I forgot that Kirsty said I'd like to watch the Wishmaster films.
Oh, you fucked it.
So I fucked it. I'd got through 4 of them. And I was sat in my office, and I was just sat here watching it, and she was like, what are you watching? And I was like, Wishmaster, 4th one, nearly done them all. She was like, what? I asked you years ago. And I was like, years ago? Come on. Like, where are we going here?
There's got to be a statute of limitations on that, though, where it's like, no. Remember the clause? Clause 3 in our contract says, if 3 years pass, I can go on without you.
That's that. Mm-hmm. The way we now do it is if it's a physical film that she wants to watch, it goes downstairs into her cupboard. Like, so that's that. And then if it's on Plex, it's a special watch list, which is like Kirsty films. So if it's not in those 2 things, it's fair game. And if she says like, I would have liked to have watched Delicatessen, and I'd be like, well, you can enjoy it on your fucking own. It's tough love, babe. It's tough love. And then I cook her dinner, clean the house, and make sure that she's all comfortable and cozy.
Absolutely.
Go and get her some snacks.
Foot massage. Yeah.
But big tough guy. So with RoboCop being the first 18, what was the first film you watched that you felt was grown up? Yeah, again, good question. And it made me think differently in that, because I don't know, like, yes, RoboCop is grown up, but it didn't feel like a grown-ups type movie. So I reckon the first one where I really noticed that was probably My Own Private Idaho. Came out in 91, and I probably saw that in about 92 or 3. It hadn't been out for long. How old were you?
I was about 12, and I loved it. I loved it because it was a new, different type of film for me, you know, growing up on Commando and Predator and stuff. To see, not that I did, that's doing myself a disservice. I did watch other stuff, but it was just, I wouldn't have watched My Own Private Idaho, but I really enjoyed it because it's a totally different pace. It's the first kind of art house film I probably ever saw. And it's really opened my eyes to like a whole new world of what cinema can do and what it is. And I probably felt a little bit grown up watching it as well. Yeah, I mean, it's up there with, you know, like Drugstore Cowboy. And I mean, is that Gus Van Sant as well? Like, it's just it's films where you're very much like, oh, this themes wise, does not want you to be too young because you just won't get it. Yeah. Like, it's not because it's the themes that they're presenting. I mean, I know Private Idaho has some themes that a child wouldn't want to be exposed to, but it is still sort of like, you won't get it until you're older. And then you'll start to understand it. And a friend recently suggested, is it The Living End? The George Aki film? I don't know. It's good. I don't know it. It's I've probably butchered everything that I've just said, but it's good. And it's a very similar thing. It's 2 guys on a road trip. With a bit of a... So when I say a road trip, in that sort of hedonistic road trip kind of way. Yeah. And it has that same feeling where it's like, there are themes in this which just a child shouldn't watch, but you should watch. Like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, it's like, you should be watching this right now. Like, yeah, why not? Because I think there's certain things that you need to learn, which you're not going to get taught unless you know these people.
And if you're fortunate enough, you don't know these people. So you need to know that it's like, oh, you can be a male gigolo in the city to buy drugs. Oh, okay. I don't know if that's a good thing. It's like, well, depends how you spin it in your brain. Like,
yeah, I know. And you're not going to get everything. That's the thing. There's no way I got everything, but I definitely noticed that it was a different type of film to what I was used to, and that the story was told differently with different types of visuals, with different timing. And I think what attracted me to it in the first place was I already loved, Point Break and Bill and Ted. So Keanu Reeves, okay, I'll watch that. And River Phoenix, Stand By Me, I knew him from that. So cool, they're in it together. But
Last Crusade.
But that's what, back then, not so much now, I think you would just watch a movie because that actor is in it that you like.
100%. I watched, up until about Fifth Element, I'd say. I watched everything Bruce Willis was in because I fucking loved Bruce Willis as a kid.
Yep.
So I tracked down so many Bruce Willis films, and my mum and dad would be like, you probably shouldn't watch that. And then I found the TV show of Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd or whatever.
You went back far.
I love it. And that's the thing, whenever I get into an actor, I get into him. So Clint Eastwood was last year, and I watched everything he's ever fucking done.
Yeah, but you leave no stone unturned, which I love.
I don't.
Yeah.
I want it all. And, have you ever seen Babes in Toyland, the Keanu Reeves film?
No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, I remember it, but...
Call yourself a fan. It's it's the same deal. I will just have to and I think this comes from not having the internet. It's who's in it? This guy? I know this person from this film, and she was great in this film, so I'm going to have to watch everything she has been in. And then, they seem to make loads of films together. Who's the director? That director. Well, then I've got to watch that director's. Where's the director? And it's just through that, family tree of, where you're just I've got to watch everything because God knows what's out there. And I miss that. I miss that a little bit. Now, I go on Letterboxd, and I'm like, what have they been in? 100 films. You've seen 60 of them. All right, I'll add the other 40 to my watch list, and I'll get around to it.
Yeah, and I think that definitely me and my brother both, because he went to film school and probably may not call himself a filmmaker anymore, but he is. We both were really into stuff, and so when the credits rolled, we wouldn't switch off the VHS. We were aware of names. We knew producers' names, directors' names, not so much writers, but until later. Yeah. But we just knew, and we were tracking those names, so they became important, not just the actor. It was we knew who directors were and stuff like that. And then it kind of, about age 12, it just all took off after that, because I think not long after that I probably saw Psycho for the first time.
Right.
And then I was boom, cinema. And now started going back in time and watching old stuff. And
are you talking about Gus Van Sant's 1997 shot-for-shot remake with Vince Vaughn?
Saw that at the cinema.
Oh shit!
And that was it's interesting that my brain linked those two, but that's why. But it's that was an interesting one. I didn't feel like it worked
as
or
a
it was
study.
Necessary.
As a study, I think it's an interesting study. It's a case study.
Absolutely.
For if you do a shot for shot, does it still capture the same magic? No. But I'm pleased you've done it, and I'm pleased someone as high profile as Gus Van Sant did it, and I'm pleased you got actors who had the ability to do what is being asked of them.
Yeah.
If anyone ever says, let's make a remake, just show them that and go, why?
Well, it's like a cover song. When you hear a band cover a great song and they do it exactly how it was done, you sort of go, why? But if they do their own version of it, they change the structure, maybe they make a jazz version of it, you go, that's really interesting. It's still great, but it's totally different.
Two, bits on that.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters' cover of Band on the Run, I think, is better than the original.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a nice one. And then Dario Argento said that about Suspiria. He said, if you're making a shot-for-shot remake of my film called Suspiria and you're going to call it Suspiria, don't. If you're not going to do a shot-for-shot remake of my film and you're going to do your own story and do whatever you like, don't call it Suspiria.
Yeah. Pretty clear messaging there.
Yeah, you fucking... It's done. Like,
yeah.
So,
no, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's... I like that idea that they say about let's remake the shit films that no one liked. It's like, yeah. Let's find the films that tanked, that nobody enjoyed, find a way of making them work again, and then remake those.
I think one thing they're defaulting to a little bit is that let's make it meta, where it's like, we're going to remake Anaconda, but the film is about them remaking Anaconda. Or I haven't seen He-Man, but I'm sure it's quite meta in that it's like we're aware that this is a bit cheesy.
Yeah, maybe. They were aware enough not to put Jared Leto in any of the marketing material.
Yeah, that's right. He was Skeletor, wasn't he?
Well, he's only the voice.
Okay.
Which means they probably could have got anyone.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess.
And then in that case, why get a name? I just don't understand some of these guys, like what they choose to spend money on. I
mean, when you sign up Jared Leto, I think you get pre-baked in 30 million 30 Seconds to Mars fans.
Yeah, but then make it part of the marketing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, Mind Private Eye definitely started off that journey, I would say. I'll give it credit for doing that. And but it was a very quick, steep kind of learning curve after that. It's like bang, 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 bang. Lots of art house cinema, lots of going back in time to watch older stuff. You know, it was probably not that long after that I saw Bridge on the River Kwai for the first time. And
lovely.
So then it was like, whoa, okay, cinema has always been great.
I think that sort of, I still love to be reminded of that when I watch a film that I haven't seen and it's a classic, you know, like the amount of people that say like, no, that's a really good film. And I'm like, well, I've never seen it and I've seen 4,000 films. So it must have not been good enough. And then I'll put it on and be like, oh, fuck, I'm wrong. That was amazing.
I love that. I love that experience. You know, I had that experience recently with, fuck me. It was the John Wayne Western with, oh God. Yeah, don't ask me. Fuck, I have to look it up now.
The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Yes, that's the one. Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Yeah, I mean, that is a sick film.
It's perfect. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it would be good, but when watching it, I was like, oh my God.
But how good, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I watched the original 3:10 to Yuma.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how good's it going to be? You know? Yeah. And I was like, well, it turns out, fucking sick.
That good. Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
it's nothing better. Nothing better. You know?
So, talking about things that there's nothing better.
Yeah. Well, let's just do it. Yeah.
Let's just get into it.
You know where this is going.
He loves Crocodile Dundee, everyone. What film holds a special place in your heart?
Crocodile Dundee 2. No, it's...
yeah, boy!
Yeah. It's Lawrence of Arabia. To no great surprise, but like... I wasn't young. I was an adult by then, and probably like early 20s when I first saw it. I had the DVD. Someone gave it to me for Christmas years prior, and it was like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it one day. There you go. I've got the exact same one. Yep.
Yeah, the 4K steelbook.
Yeah, of course.
Ooh,
of course. And that one is a 4K that is genuinely worth having. I've compared them. It is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it's beautiful.
That changed my life because it became a motif for my life as well, like a theme, and that is, you know, that nothing is written. Named my YouTube channel after that. And it's just also just been a thing that I follow. It's like the belief that when told by an outside voice, this is destiny, this is going to happen, you can't change it, and then saying, fuck you, I'm going to change it. Mm-hmm. It really spoke to me. And it's not been better demonstrated than that film. No. Everything about it is just what cinema can be. And it cannot be done in any other format than cinema. You can't make a video game of Lawrence of Arabia and capture what's captured in the cinema version of that story. So it stands alone. And it just really taught me so much about the deliberateness of a frame and that it is worth doing it for real if you can. When they storm Aqaba and there's 1,000 horsemen storming Aqaba, there's 1,000 horsemen storming Aqaba.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's not, there's no CG. This is where, CG is just a tool, and I have nothing against it. But this is where it could fall down because and you can see it. Those are CGI horses. They're really there. They're in focus. It's deep focus. It's such a wide angle. There's just so much in this film and taught me so much about visual language, cinematic language, and time and pacing. The famous well scene. Just watch it. If you want to learn anything about making films, watch that scene. Then watch it again with the sound off and just pay attention to the shots and the editing and the framing. You'll learn everything you need to know about how to make films from that. So it was profound. I watched it alone and I was getting emotional by the midpoint because I was more just getting emotional at how good the filmmaking was.
Yeah. Also
on top of the emotion of what I was feeling from watching the film. So yeah, it changed everything from there. And that sort of became the thing of I was already making films, but I was like, that is where I want to be. I want to get that good at this.
It's amazing that when you watch a film and you get emotional purely for the love of the game. If that makes sense. I had it with Magnolia. With Magnolia, I was the same. I was watching it just this is perfect. This is a perfect film. And Lawrence of Arabia is another one where I saw it at the Prince Charles, when they released the 4K of it and everything. Not this DVD, but a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And I can sit through that film. I when anyone's like, "Oh, it's long," I'm just like, I know, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel long. I'm being told a story in such a perfect way that everything is the right, like you're saying, the pacing, everything is the right amount of time to focus and to get to where we're going, to then find this entire story about this person who then just gets taken out on a fucking rough Superior, man's just taken out on a bike after everything he's been through. And it's such a good film.
Like a lot of Lean's films, especially around that era, it was a portrait of a descent into madness and obsession. And you can't do that in 90 minutes.
No.
You need a 3.5 hour epic to do it. And so by the time he's killing Turks and sort of almost feeling orgasmic over the blood and everything, you can't get to that at minute 65. You need it to be 2.5 hours in. It's a miracle of a film. And I mean, there's stuff structurally in it that you could even say, well, it doesn't do this and it doesn't do that, and yet it still works. I wouldn't change it. That's the thing. It's so... Yes, it doesn't have, a climactic ending. The climax is well before that, I would say. And then it kind of slowly descends to
but
not normality, but a kind of, you see him fade into the background. And I love the last shot.
That's beautiful about it, yeah.
No, I agree. And because at the very beginning of the film, it's at his funeral and people are saying, stuff about him, but it's like, did you know him? Well, I didn't know him, but I met him once, you know, and he's this legendary figure that no one really knows who he was. Everyone's at his funeral and no one knows him. That's telling. And then in the last shot, I think the last shot, this is why Lean is such a great director. He's in a military jeep being escorted, you know, back home. It's like, you're going home now. We've had enough from you. He's in a jeep. There's a shot. Obviously, the shot, we're going with him in the jeep, but then you see the motorbike pass. Brilliant, poetic, like sign of your future. But then there's a shot of him as well, and he's obscured behind the windshield, which is covered in dust. You can see him, but not fully. This is where directors need to pay attention to. This is directing. Like, there's meaning in that shot. That's the theme of the film, I think, you know, and it's captured like as it should be in the last shot. So yeah, the film changed my life. Taught me so much about filmmaking.
So good. It's such
I don't know. It's like a rush. It's like a rush that I fear I'll never get back to, you know. What film's going to replace that?
There's definitely never going to be a film that replaces that feeling. I think there's only been a handful of films that, even on repeat viewing, I feel that way. And like I say, Magnolia is one for me. I genuinely, every time like I watch that film, I am just sort of taken away with like, oh God, that's good. And then what other films? There are other films. I think the Three Colors trilogy always do that for me. Like, there's something about those films that are always just like, yes, delicious. Thank you, you know? And it's... I worry that we don't get that as often. I almost got there with One Battle After Another. I didn't get there with One Battle After Another. I was edged. I
can't wait for the next question.
I know, it's such a shame, isn't it?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna gush over that film for as much as I can. Then, yeah, you know, I almost got there with that film, but it didn't quite get it for me. But yeah, I do worry that there aren't going to be as many films that get that feeling from audience. Maybe it's just not from me. My love of film and my love of filmmakers all stem from about the 60s. Like 60s and 70s, it's sort of the filmmakers I love all got their careers from there, and they all learnt from other people from before them. So like my guys are almost on the way out now, you know. It's harder for me to sort of fall for a director in the same way that I used to, because their references are the same as my references, which means I don't want to be a cunt. I'm not learning in the same way. You know, I'm not watching these films being like, wait, what is the Hidden Fortress? Kurosawa? Who's Kurosawa? What's Seven Samurai? What do you mean the Magnificent Seven? And then doing this whole journey. Like, now when anyone goes, you know about... And I'm like, I know about everything about it. I've read the fucking books and I've seen all the films. Like, it's only things like Happiness by Todd Solondz, or, you know, just a really obscure filmmaker that I don't know, that I have to be introduced to them, because it's like, oh, they're a B-movie filmmaker and they only made 6 films and they're all amazing. And then you watch them and you're like, why aren't these more talked about? It's like, because they're dog shit to other people. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, that's the only way I ever get there anymore. And I
do wonder if people, this is probably a generation speaking here, but like whether younger people today have the same kind of profound experience with a film that I'm talking about with Lawrence of Arabia. I hope they don't.
I bet they
don't. I really, really would love that. But I also feel like, well, what have they got to react? Certainly not stuff from today. Like,
but that's the thing. I wouldn't say that they don't in like a dismissive, like, oh, the kids today don't understand. Not like that at all.
No.
Because they've got so much, like, the world at their fingertips. They didn't have to discover anything and find out that your 2 favourite people have been in something together. And then it turns out, you know what I mean? They haven't had to do that journey, because they can just Google it and find what's the best.
Yeah.
You can have the best straight away. It wasn't.
But I also think that they land on the same films that we did. Like, I wasn't born when Lawrence of Arabia was made, so it was an old film for me. But I had to go back and go, no, that's where it really was at. And I think they end up doing the same thing. They when they're into film, they go through the back catalogue and start discovering things like Citizen Kane and all that sort of stuff, and they end up finding the same stuff and go, yeah, nah, those are the best, you know. It's a shame because, like, again, to draw it back to music, I'm still waiting for the next Metallica. Where are they? Why am I still into Metallica? Why can't there be another one that's like better? And there isn't. And
well, let me tell you about a band called Megadeth.
Look, I've tried. Okay.
Savage.
And no, it's not fair. It's a different genre. But I take your point. Like, where is today's Lawrence of Arabia? Where is today's Magnolia? Where is today's stuff that, like, what's the last film that deserves to be in that bracket that will be talked about in 50, 100 years' time? That's a hard one to answer.
I think it's going to be something by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Let's get into the next question. Because this is very relevant.
So, what's your controversial film that you love? No, what's your controversial opinion on a famous film? Paul Thomas Anderson doesn't get enough love?
So I'm still halfway through one battle after another, and I probably won't finish it. So my controversial opinion is on that film. I didn't see what everyone else sees. I know I'm in the minority.
How far are you?
I think there's about 50 minutes left, 45 minutes left.
Then fair enough. Yes, you won't.
Yeah.
You won't. That's fine. I think
the thing is,
I want Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I wanted to love it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Like, I spoke to someone recently and they sort of said, oh, it's I don't care, you know, it's just whatever. And I was like, how far are you? And they're like, oh, it's my dad. He was like, who's this woman who's just shouting all the time and then she's sleeping with, like, Sean Penn? And I'm like, oh, that's the first, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty early.
She's not in it for the rest of the film. The rest of the film is then about her child. And Dad was like, I don't know. And I had to remind him of what he said to me about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Because I was like, that film's a piece of shit. I don't like that film. And he was like, you're wrong. Go back and rewatch it.
Okay.
And I rewatched it and I was like, I was wrong. I really enjoy that film.
Okay. Yep.
So when Dad was watching that and he was like, and I was like, this is a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood situation, Dad. Like, go back and finish it because it makes it worth it. But if you've only got like 50 minutes left, like, you're not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, you know, I was consciously willing it to win me over. I was like, come on, it's got to be the next scene where things will turn and my opinion, my feelings will change, and it was not getting there. I felt like everything that had Sean Penn in it was great. He was really watchable. And the thing about PTA is, like, every film he makes has got great actors in it. Not just good, but the best of the best. So they can smooth over cracks. They can do things, make things watchable that wouldn't otherwise be. And so there's stuff in it that makes you keep watching because they're so fucking good. But if you just were reading it on the page, it wouldn't be. And so that's kind of where I feel like with that film. And but as you say, like, cinema is a funny thing. You can come back to a film 5, 10 years later and rewatch it and go, what the hell was I thinking? This is great. So I hope that happens. But yeah, at this point,
I hope it does for you as well.
I remember thinking about 20 minutes in, I was like, this is good, but I need this to get better. And I think it was around the chase, the handheld one through all the buildings with Benicio del Toro and Leo. Like, it was And around that point, I was like, why am I watching this? Why am I watching this scene is what I mean. What's this scene doing? It's a long scene. What's it doing?
I think that is interesting because actually Leo is pointless throughout the entire film. Like,
that's how it feels, but I'm only halfway through, so yeah.
But he is. Like, the daughter takes care of business and doesn't need him there. He is literally a ride home at the end, which I think is actually quite a nice sort of, a metaphor for a dad, is that you wish to give your child everything to defend themselves against the world.
Yeah.
And you're always there for them. And just like a good dad, he picks her up at the end of the night, as it were. Like, so for all his all of his sort of faults and all that kind of stuff throughout the entire story of those two, he's just a useless stoner and he can't do shit. As soon as she goes missing, he kicks back into action, and ultimately everything he does is pointless. But everything he did for her is not pointless, and she can take care of herself. And that's like, I think that to me is the beauty of that sort of that story, if that makes sense. Now, I was in a similar position, I would say. Like, the first 20 minutes, I was a bit like, oh no, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
And then by the end, I was so invested and so happy with the end, like with the whole film. I was just like, yeah, that was excellent. Like, so I think it is just a matter of, the reading, as it were. Like, there are films which just rubbed me the wrong way minute one, and they could have been the greatest film, but I'd be like, no, fuck off, I don't care.
I know it's such a personal response, and sometimes it's about your mood on the day or anything like that. That can also
jealousy of the filmmaker as well. That annoys me the most. Like,
I think, yeah. I don't like to be told. With PTA, everyone just tells me, if you don't think he's a genius, then it's because you don't get it. And I think that rubs me up the wrong way. I'm like, no, I get it. But it's the film's fucking responsibility to win me over.
Yes.
Not their pedigree, not who they were or who they are or any of that shit. Don't give me the word. I fucking hate the word genius. That word gets overused so much.
Yeah.
Because if it was, it would win me over. So I think what I respond to with any film is I gotta invest in the hero, and if the hero is a person who doesn't take any form of action and it happens all around them, it's very difficult for me to invest. Because where's the investment? I found myself. I always find myself investing in potentially the wrong person. Like, I was more invested in Sean Penn's story. I was like, I actually think I'd watch that whole film from his point of view, because he's fucked up, he's got a goal, he's suffering, and he's fucking it up. And, there's some interest there. There's something, and he's got something to hide now, especially that scene with the white supremacist cult. It's like, his story is really interesting now, and, yeah, man. So make that film, and so I think that was some of my frustration with it. Was like, I think you picked the wrong perspective to tell this from.
I think that is a fair take on the film, because if you were to say, for the Oscars, should Leo be nominated? It's like, not for leading, because he wasn't the lead in the film. She was the lead in the film. And Sean Penn would be like supporting, but in a leading villain role. Like,
yeah.
I completely agree with you that you could cut 90% of Leo's character out and it doesn't affect the story one iota. But what I quite like is that that's the case. Like, we're watching all of this unfold. Yeah. And then we've got this very useless man trying to figure it out. And I like that. But again, when you're saying about, calling a director a genius and, all of that kind of stuff, Paul Thomas Anderson, like, I either love his films or I just do not care for them. And Hard Eight, I don't think Hard Eight's a very good film. I don't think Inherent Vice is a particularly very good film. And I haven't seen Licorice Pizza yet, but I'm not intending to enjoy it. And that's when I know that it's like, oh, no. Because I love Magnolia, because I love Boogie Nights, because I love The Master, when I do like one of his films, they either are just a flat, well done, perfect, or it's, all right, fuck off. Whatever you're doing, it's not for me. Off you go.
Yeah, no, I get that, and he's a very particular spice, isn't he? Like,
yes.
And I think when it comes to like the meaning that you're drawing from the film, I sort of feel quite strongly that that's where the genius does lie. That if the meaning should be inherent. Sorry, the meaning should be apparent. You shouldn't have to have an academic discussion after a film to understand what it means. I feel like that meaning should be implied through the use of imagery, that anyone can watch it and sort of maybe not articulate it, but get it.
Yeah.
And that's the point. That it's about this useless guy and all this stuff happening around him, and that's saying this. I always feel like, your meaning may well be obscure, but the real genius comes in making a film that actually its meaning is undeniable, and but also doesn't need to be, certainly not articulated by characters. But it's just, no one could watch the film and not derive that meaning from the film. I'll give you an example, right? You watch The Hurt Locker.
Yeah. When
you get to the scene near the end where he's in a supermarket and he can't fucking decide which cereal to buy, and there's no words. He doesn't go, I can't decide what cereal. No, he's standing there in a wide shot where he's dwarfed by these rows of cereal. This is a man who could make a decision, a life or death decision, in the war without a second thought. He was a decision maker.
Yeah.
Here he is at home, and he can't decide on which cereal to buy. And the meaning is apparent. It's inherent in the visual. You don't need it explained to you. That when the credits roll, it's because he's just gone back to war, because that's where he's valued.
Yeah, that's where he knows.
I can make decisions. I can affect change. I can do things. I've got value. And then it cuts to black, and you go, "Oh my god!" The meaning's apparent. The genius is in that.
It's Catherine Bigelow. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
probably the most underrated director in the world. She's
genuinely, like, she is fucking excellent. Like,
I know.
Yeah, she's so good. Like, and it honestly, it blows my mind that anyone ever has anything bad to say about her, because I'm like, right, pick any of her films and tell me why they're shit. I bet you fucking can't. Like, even her most recent one, where it was the dropping the bomb, it was on Netflix, I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, I did have some issues with that, but it was compelling, and I enjoyed it.
It was compelling, and I enjoyed it. And like, everyone's argument about, like, oh, you didn't see the bomb go. It's like, yes, that's the point.
I know that was the strength of it.
Things, you know, like, and like, I don't know. She's a very good filmmaker, and I think there are certain filmmakers who are very good at just giving you that look at the end. You know, just throwing his fucking police badge into the Australian fucking tsunami that is, you know, Swayze getting wiped out at the end. You're just sort of like, yeah, Johnny Utah, man, he fucking gets it. Like,
yeah,
just the look. Yeah, just the look.
Yeah, yeah. So that's I guess where I land on it. It's like the meaning might well be there, but it shouldn't require a forum afterwards of people, especially PTA fans, all telling me, no, you just don't get it. It's about this and it's about that. And but you know, I can't really speak anymore on it because I haven't seen the whole film. So maybe that will all be apparent, and the genius is there.
Yeah,
but I feel like
you gotta watch it all. You just haven't got TikTok generation. You ain't got the time to keep your eyes open for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I've been too busy doing that.
So, what have you been watching recently?
I've been watching a lot of disappointing horror.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. I haven't been watching any shows or anything like that religiously, but I've been spent the last year or year and a half just watching a lot of horror films because I was writing one, and so I wanted to research the genre as much as possible, but it's such a big genre. There's always another one that I haven't seen that's like, oh, I really should see that, you know. So I went through and watched a lot of the big ones from the last 20 years or so. And there's some, they've all got value. They've all got great stuff in them, and that's what makes them a frustration, because the first half, brilliant, scary. The second half can't sustain its momentum.
Initial
and then
concept,
there's usually
solid.
And endings. You know, I'm an endings guy. I spend a year on my endings, you know, or more. Like that's the thing I put all of my effort into when writing anything, because for me it's a non-negotiable. You have to send the audience out of the cinema on a high emotion of some kind, where it can be deep depression, or it can be joy, or it can be whatever, but it's got to be a big emotion. And you only get that when you get your ending right, and it's got to be built in from the first frame. So, but I see a lot of horror films that don't have that, because they don't quite know where to take their concept.
Yeah.
And so they chicken out. They cut to black without you knowing what happened, and it's like, fucking hell, man, you did it again, you know. So I've been watching a lot of those.
Sounds frustrating. Did you watch Oddity? Damien McCarthy's Oddity?
I think that's on my list of ones to see. Let me just look it up. I've heard of that. Odyssey.
Yeah, he did Poker recently. Oddity came out...
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't remember now. Last 10 years.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I haven't seen it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I cannot think of not a fun, but like a good horror that's a new horror.
I loved Smile 2. I thought that was really good.
Smile 2 was so good.
Yeah, really interesting. She is phenomenal in that, and it had a satisfying ending. Like, it actually all, for me, kind of wrapped up in the right way. It's like it had enough obscurity, but it was
I think one of her apartment sort of like smile moments, let's say, it was the first film that actually made me jump in a long time, to the point where I had to pause it and go and tell Kirsty, like, Smile 2 just made me jump. And she was like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, right? Like, I was so like, oh, fair play. But yeah, Smile 2 was really good.
Yeah.
What else have God, I've seen so many horrors. I just don't know anymore.
I have a long list.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And
are you a Letterboxd guy? Are you Letterboxd?
Is that a subscription service?
No.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. You'll have to explain.
Oh, sorry. Letterboxd is it's a film review site, but you can log all the films that you watch. So it's a free account, and you can just log them all. You leave reviews. There's no... You can either pay to be a patron or a member, but the only additions you get are knowledge that you're paying to keep the server running. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like, so they're cool. Like, you get the same level of service regardless. And like, I go on there to log all the films I've watched. Because I've seen so many, I have to make sure that I don't waste time watching them again when I know there's so many more films I need to watch. But I also keep my watch lists on there, so it's, you know, what do I intend on watching? What looks good? What have someone suggested? And I got to be like, right, fucking put them all in, and then I'll track them down. But yeah, it's good. You can follow me when you do get it.
That sounds
because
great.
Then you'll see all the stupid stuff I watch.
I can judge you.
Oh, you fucking should as well, because there'll be like a sea of police academies, and all of a sudden it's like, he watched something really good and gave that 5 stars. Like, and it was like, yeah, I need a palate cleanse to get back into it.
Police Academy
go watch
5.
Spy Hard again.
Is Police Academy 5 the one where they go to Miami?
I think so. I haven't got that far, because I'll be honest with you, I watched the first 3 with the fucking stonest face in the world and thought, I can't sit here for an hour and a half not laughing at comedy. So
they haven't aged well.
Oh,
I can imagine that.
So bad. They're so bad. So yeah, like, and then we watched Loaded Weapon, the Emilio Estevez Sam Jackson film. Chef's Kiss. I love that film.
Yep.
Like, and then you watch any of the fucking, like, Naked Guns, and you're like, right, that's how you do a fucking parody film, pricks.
I went and saw the new one at the cinema, and I laughed all the way through it. And that's all it needed to do.
I'll give you one up. I saw it at the cinema, laughed all the way through. Then I suggested it to my in-laws while they were over Christmas. We watched it. I laughed again.
Yep. So there you go. Yeah. It's not just a once-off. No, it was funny.
It was good. You know, such that, like, and Pam Anderson. Who knew she was fucking hilarious?
Great. Yeah, like, I know.
Damn it.
I know. There isn't comedy as a genre has really died. It's for no mystery to why. Like, it's just when you've got comedians being cancelled and can't perform, and because they told a joke 20 years ago someone doesn't like anymore or whatever. It's just like, what do we've forgotten what comedy is meant to do? Like, comedy is a mirror. We're allowed to laugh at ourselves. Oh no, but you can't punch down. You can only punch up. I don't believe in that. But you know, and it's really hard with cinema.
Yeah, I think with comedy, if you target an audience that has no relevance, like if you've interacted with it and you have a funny anecdote or observation because of because of something you've interacted with, then that's fine. If you were to come out and all of a sudden be like, this specific group, I've got no connection, but fuck them, then I'd be like, it's not.
But that wouldn't be a funny joke.
Exactly. If it's not a funny joke,
that's the thing. Like,
if it's a funny joke, it's like, I'm sure I've laughed at a joke that I shouldn't have fucking laughed at. You know what I mean? Because it was
but it's probably funny.
You set it up right. You told it good. It was the right audience and the right moment. Well done.
Yeah. But also there's so much nuance in comedy. Like, you could have a guy telling a joke who the joke is that he's telling that joke because he's adopting a character who is an ignoramus, for example. But if you took it on its surface level, you'd be like, well, he's just an ignoramus. He's not funny. And it's like, no, but that is the joke. Don't you get it? And
no, I don't think they do get it. I also don't think that people understand comedians are professionals.
Yeah.
And when they tell a joke, it is a professionally written, crafted piece of work.
Absolutely.
When you repeat it in your office and you get sent up by HR, it's because you're not a professional. Like, it's as simple as that. Like,
and context matters. You're not standing on stage with a microphone. Very different. Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't see a lot of comedies these days that are not like, they just don't really exist. You know, there's maybe one a year or two a year, and it's just like, where is comedy?
And they substitute every film to be a dramedy, because it's like, well, we're going to do this emotional scene, but we don't want you to feel emotional, so we're going to make a shit joke that isn't funny, but it also shows that we're being light and silly at the same time. And it's that Disneyfication, the marveling of it all, where it's just like, you couldn't have had Thor being genuinely miserable and stoic as his Shakespearean ways should be. Instead, you got to have him be like full of cheese whiz. And it's like, oh, fuck off. Like, just Marvel films in general, fuck off. But, like, fuck off. Like, you don't have to make a joke every 30 seconds that isn't funny just because you think the audience can't handle.
It's the equivalent of apologizing for the joke that you just told. Yeah. And it's like, you'll never be funny if you're going to take that approach. And it's a disservice to the audience, because the audience is invested emotion in someone like Thor, for example. And then you want us to feel something for him, something that's, you know, like sympathy or something dark, some negative emotion, right? And go on that journey, but then you destroy it by telling a joke. And it's like, no, don't. And they do this all the time in Marvel films. They have an emotional scene. They get you, the audience, almost ready to cry. Yeah. And then they fuck it with a joke. And it's like, so what you're doing is actually you're doing a disservice, and you're dishonoring me as an audience member, because I was going with you. I was willing, and you pulled the rug out from under me, and now you're making me feel stupid for having an emotion, because you're making the film itself is saying, ha ha ha, look at these idiots getting. Did you get emotional? Oh,
the joke's on you, baby.
Yeah, and it's just people feel that from a movie. Like, you've got to don't do that.
And if you do it too often, which Marvel has, I'm not going to engage. I'm going to watch it with a fucking
absolutely. You pull right back
screen in front of me, where I'm going to be like, "That's some pretty pictures you're showing in front of me," and credits, cool, right? That'll do.
Yeah, I know, man.
That's it. I'm going to give it no emotional weight. And then when you try and tell me, like, isn't it sad that Tony died? It's like, no.
Yeah.
Because he's a character and he's shit. Don't you think he should win an Oscar? Robert Downey Jr.? Robert Downey Jr. should have won an Oscar in the 90s when he was doing some really strong work. Should he have won an Oscar for Tony Stark? No, he was playing himself. Fuck off.
Yeah. No. Well, we best not get onto the Oscars, because that's another hour. But
yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm with you on a lot of that stuff.
Would you go?
Yeah.
For historical context reasons, not for...
I would go so that I could enjoy the experience of stuff like in the toilet.
Yes.
Seeing George Clooney taking a piss as well,
100%.
And just like weird stuff like that must happen. It would be a bizarre
Who would
experience.
You take?
My wife.
Oh, I'd take my mum.
Yeah.
I think my mum would get the most out of everyone I know.
Yeah.
My mum would get the most out of it.
No, I would want my partner in crime, who I could turn to and be like, "This is a load of shit, isn't it?" And she'd be like, "I'm so bored."
Thing is, I could also get that from my mum.
Yeah.
I'd be outside just like, bunch of cunts, these people. And my mum would be like, I'm sure they're all right. And I'm like, fuck off, they're not here. You can say what you like. She'd be like, yeah, they're a bunch of cunts. And I was like, yeah.
Because you would also see stuff that obviously isn't broadcast. You know, like you would see somebody, I don't know, somebody like, I don't want to name a name, but some big director or big actor sitting on their phone and texting whilst there's something important going on stage that they really should be paying attention to. And just funny stuff like that.
The one that I always like is there's a bit where in one of the Oscars or one of the award ceremony, Christian Bale is like laughing and joking and have a really nice time. Then someone nudges him and points to the camera. He sees it and then goes stone-faced. And it's like, yeah.
Oh, really?
I bet you're a fucking hoot. But you've maintained this like shitty actor like mentality.
I do think that some of the best performances that you see from all those actors is the face they pull or don't pull when they don't win.
Yes.
I love that.
Mickey Rourke not winning for The Wrestler.
Oh, that was
throwing his hands in the air and going, fuck's sake. You're just like, yeah, well done, Mickey.
I felt for him.
Oh, I felt for him.
Yeah.
He should have won it.
I don't remember who did, but...
it was 2008, wasn't it? So
yeah, it would have been 2009 Oscars.
It was the year Ledger won his posthumously. So
that was best supporting though. So
yeah, he
would have been.
But
yeah,
who was it?
Was it an Adrian Brody?
Was it Daniel Day-Lewis for There Will Be Blood?
I thought that was the year prior. Fuck. That's a tough one.
Do we do it? Do we Google? Or do we use our brains?
I don't care enough, to be honest.
You know what? Boom. Correct answer, sir. Here's your Oscar.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You wanna promote anything? You wanna shout out any of your works, any of your films?
I'm terrible at this kind of self-promotion stuff, but if people want to find me, I'm pretty easy to find. You can just Google my name, Tim Auld, Auld, and there's a YouTube channel that I did, which I guess like the people that I would want to reach me is that audience. So people who didn't get into film school or can't afford to go, and they want to just learn some of the things that actually are important about this craft. despite what they get told by whoever else. That's the channel that was the kind of reason behind my YouTube channel, was just, and there's not much there, but what is there already hopefully will help, because I chose to do like the first few things that I know. Like, if you're going to go into this enterprise, master these things and you'll be fine. I say that, I'm not fine, but like you're on the way. And so like there's a video about the hero's journey, which I deliberately try to do my best to demystify, because it's another one of those things that academics like to hide behind and say, oh, no, this is not for you over here. This is an elite thing that we academics understand. But it really isn't. It's not that hard. And there's a video about directing, the same thing. It's just like, here's what you need to focus on. If you want to learn how to direct, this is what's important. Just learn these principles. And then there's another one, which is my biggest hobby horse, which is the crisis scene. So this is taken from McKee. Robert McKee talks about every character has to get to their crisis moment that reveals their true character. But what he's talking about is like, that's your ending. Like, that's where you get your third act right, and you've got a movie, you've got something that will make somebody feel emotion, which is how I've managed to get to where I've gotten to, which isn't far, but it is somewhere, in the sense that I'm nobody, but I wrote some words on paper, I sent that to some people, and it won some competitions, and it got me a producer, and it got me the chance to direct a feature now, all because they read a script that I wrote that made them feel emotion. Well, the reason they feel emotion is because of the craft that I'm talking about, that I put into it. So there's some stuff like that on my YouTube channel that I hope will actually help people.
Nice. Well, I'll link all that in the description so everyone can go over there. Do check it out. Some wonderful sort of visual essays as they. That's what they're sort of.
Yeah, they definitely visual essays. That's what they are. Yeah.
So that's like, put one on when you're having dinner and just consume it. You know, just like, obviously sit and listen, but it is that, like, it's a wonderful thing that you can have it in the background and learn something, which I think is one of the best things about YouTube.
Eat something soft like lasagna. Don't eat Doritos.
No. Yeah. Like soft serve ice cream, mashed potatoes, that kind of stuff. You know. Well, thank you very much for coming on. It's been lovely talking to you. I do feel like we could talk forever. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thanks, Ted, for inviting me on. It's been really good, and I agree. We could definitely do another couple of hours, but we've both sort of got lives and need to get back to them.
Totally.
I love what you're doing. I think this is an important thing. It's an important format, great conversation to have. And I'm going to start looking through your back catalogue and listening to other people, because there's always value to get from these conversations.
100%. And I think being open, which you have, is one of the greatest things. I think we do need to demystify the industry and let everyone know that it's not always the easiest of gigs, but it is a very satisfying gig when it gets right. So,
yeah, I think people need to get better at just believing in themselves a bit more. And I know that sounds a bit trite, but it's true in the sense of, like, every video essay that I make ends with the same phrase, which is something to the effect of, you know, if you're feeling a bit inadequate, just look at what gets made.
Yeah, 100%.
And you should see things that way. Like, look at the shit that gets made, and you're worried about your script? You think you might not be good enough? No. Just focus on getting better. Learn how to see where you can improve. Be humble in that sense, and be fucking relentless about getting better, because there will come a point where you absolutely overtake the shit that's getting made. You will. And someone will recognize that. So yeah, that's the only thing I really hope people start believing in themselves a bit more, and seeing that, okay, I am good, but I've just got to get better, and keep committing to that. And the rest hopefully will just take care of itself. But it's also, you've also got to put yourself out there, put the work out there. Otherwise, no, the Hollywood won't ring.
No.
You know, it's only because I put my shit into competitions and it won a few that then there was a tiny little ping on the radar in Hollywood and someone picked up a phone. But you got to risk something. You got to go out there a little bit, which I know is hard.
Sounds like a great place to leave it.
Yeah, man, that's a good one.
So thank you very much, and hopefully talk soon.
Thanks, Ted. Really appreciate the conversation.
This has been a Lovable Rogue Productions podcast. Thank you to everyone that listened. If you want to help out your life in film, then download it, like it, share it, and give the pod a follow. I didn't realise till starting this that a download is the way they measure success and not just a listen. So, you know, listening means nothing. Make sure you check out my guests on their socials, which will be in the description of the episode. Take a look at my letterbox. I've made a list of all the films that have been mentioned on the pod. There's fucking hundreds. So you can find some good films there. Yeah, there is some good ones. There's some fucking weird ones and I love them. Quick shout out to some of the podcasts I'm listening to. Caliber 9 from Outer Space. That's Robin Joe's. That's really good. And then The Villain Was Right. That's a great fun. Check that out. If you really want to be a mensch, give me that money. There's a link in the description. It'll explain it all. But a download and a share is excellent, and I actually appreciate that a lot more than you'd think. We currently have no sponsors, but I am open to them. I'll shill anything. I don't care. This has been a Lovable Rogue production. Thank you for listening.